innocence till proven guilty. Caught me stealing a paradise at a store on the east side. Motherfucker had it out for me. My pockets were empty and my kid was turning 5. So I, from the game of Monopoly, on the side of the road, damn dash from the sun slips on the end of my coat. Next thing I know, I'm in handcuffs and no stranger to life getting rough. Next thing I know, it's futile resistance, dreaming of a separate existence.
We get freaky, 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 freaky. We get freaky in this house. We make them speakers real, real loud. Neighbors yelling, turn it down, but my head's stuck up in the clouds. We get freaky in this house. We make them speakers real, real loud. Neighbors yelling, turn it down, but my head's stuck up in the cloud. We get freaky in this house. We make them speakers real, real loud. Neighbors yelling, turn it down, but my head's stuck up in the clouds. We get freaky in this house. We make them speakers real, real loud. Neighbors yelling, turn it down, but my head's stuck up in the cloud. We get in this house. We get they don't wanna turn it down like. We get in this house. We get freaky, 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 freaky. We get in this house. We get they don't wanna turn it down like. We get in this house. We get freaky, 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 freaky. We get freaky in this house. We make them speakers real, real loud. Neighbors yelling, turn it down, but my head's stuck up in the clouds. We get freaky in this house. We make them speakers real, real loud. Neighbors yelling, turn it down, but my head's stuck up in the cloud. We get freaky in this house. We make them speakers real, real loud. Neighbors yelling, turn it down, but my head's out. Neighbors yelling, turn it down, but my head's stuck up in the cloud. We get in this house. We get they don't wanna turn it down like. We get in this house. We get freaky, 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 freaky.
do like to share your opinions, talking big like somebody's listening. Nobody's listening. It's so fun and games until it doesn't toss me out. I'll hit the ignition. Now you listen. Hop up in the window. Smaller and smaller you fade out. Hop up in the window. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Try to paint me like an old name, so sorry, but we're not the same. No, we're not the same. Boo-hoo, poor you, please forgive me, cause I don't feel any pity. I'm fed up with lies, you wanted my demise, now you're watching me rise, rise, rise. Up in the window, smaller and smaller you fade out. Up in the window. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay.
This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. Coming to you live from the Riot Games Arena in Berlin, Germany, we have witnessed 10 incredible teams duke it out for the title of champion. We've seen joy, we've seen tears, we've seen records being broken all week, and now we finally reach the lower finals where we will see the last hopes of EMEA and Brazil face off in this best of 5. Welcome everyone to the Game Changers Championship 2024 lower finals. I'm your host Victoria, and on the desk with me we've got Wyatt and a very special guest, Minnie, Coach Minnie, Potato Minnie.
Potato Minnie.
How have you been enjoying everything here in Germany so far? You've been hanging out with Sliggy as well. Shout out to Sliggy and his
Shout out to
plugs.
Sliggy.
Yeah.
Everything's been great, but hanging out with Sliggy, to be honest with you.
Oh, so is that why you're here with us?
That's why I'm here. I avoiding the stream. I thought I'd escape to here. Yeah, avoid the stream.
Yeah. Your thoughts on Wingman?
I hate him just as much as Sliggy.
Oh, you do?
But there's a fan in the crowd who has their own Wingman hoodie thing.
Yeah.
And I might be wearing that today, apparently. So.
That's so hypocritical.
Just to scare Sliggy.
Oh, okay.
He hates it. You know, I mean, I gotta make sure that he feels more uncomfortable than me sometimes. You know?
Okay.
That's
Better be a G2 fan then. MIBR, they're still playing a lot of Gecko.
That's
a
true.
A lot of Wingman.
That's true.
In fact, yeah, let's talk a little bit about what happened on the stage yesterday, because we had 2 incredible matches, starting with this 2 overtimes on these 2 maps.
Yeah, this was insane. Very lucky that I got to cast this game yesterday. You can't ask for anything better in the biggest rivalry that we have in the scene. The 2 most iconic duos of GC with Mel and Alexis versus Petra and Mimi. That was just incredible.
Yeah, it was like it was a 2-0, but like it didn't feel like a 2-0. Like that was a hell of a series.
Yeah,
Best 2-0 you
absolutely.
could possibly have.
It could have been anyone's game
Definitely.
in that first one. Between the 2 of them going into that overtime, and of course the second game, Zipto getting knocked out, sadly. Now, looking at the brackets, this is where we are now in the lower finals, and yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is basically the same bracket we had last year. Is this surprising to you guys? I know some of you guys had some early predictions about how this might play out. What
You're
do you
not
think,
feeling
Nick?
surprised? Your
No,
head
not
is
at all.
shaking in a
My
horizontal fashion.
pick'ems are pretty close to this. I think the top 3 at this tournament are, you know, Zipto are very good, but I think the top 3 is where the elite of the elite are, and
Okay.
they're all fantastic.
Yeah, so maybe not entirely surprised, but I think the results and the individual performances we've been seeing, has been upgraded and a bit surprising in the best of ways. Now that brings us to today's MasterCard fan poll. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think we're going to get a repeat NA versus Brazil Grand Final tomorrow? So scan the QR code to cast your vote. You guys know how this works. We want to know what you think. So pour in those votes, tell us what you think, and of course remember to use the hashtag VCT Game Changers so we can feature you on the broadcast. So VCT Game Changers or VCT, hashtag VCT. I think we look out for those two. Some pretty funny comments rolling up on our broadcast. Now, following tomorrow's trophy presentation, which, have you guys seen the trophy? It's pretty nice.
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Oh.
Keeping myself spoiler-free
Okay.
on the trophy so I can see it
Okay.
when it's meant to be revealed.
Unlike arcane spoilers, which are accidentally being revealed. But the
I've
trophy
also avoided.
is amazing. So we also are going to be giving out the GCC 2024 Most Valuable Player Award. And I think we have a couple of players in the running. Minnie, who are your MVPs?
Yeah,
for
so I've
this tournament so far?
picked out a few. So for me, it's there's 5 players that we picked out. So the way I've done it is that I think that if Shopify win the tournament, personally,
Yeah.
I think only Floor can win MVP. Like
Okay.
I don't think that there's
Yeah.
much.
No, it's.
more to
I mean,
say.
as
Really?
of
Not
right
even?
now, Floor overall statistically is eclipsing where she was at last year, where she MVP'd. So strong case to do it again if
Yeah.
I saw her win.
It's like unfortunate for Floor's teammates. Well, it's a blessing and a curse. Like
Yeah.
to have Floor as your teammate's great,
Yeah.
but you can put up an MVP performance, but then you got Floor on your team anyway. So that's the kind of.
And it
curse.
looks like Floor is ready to fight us if we don't. That image, if I'm being totally
Yeah.
honest.
Got
Yeah.
the cracking her knuckles there.
But if they don't, the rest of the players you put up here are all, frankly, the exact same 4 that I would have too. I mean, can't deny the firepower of Petra, how many round-saving moments she's had for G2. Same with Amy, that Cypher game yesterday was crazy. She's been so consistent. And then, yeah, the MIBR players you picked as well. Just
Yeah,
firepower
Sarah
on that
Jelly.
team.
Incredible.
Nuts.
Yeah, like
What are your measurements for MVP? Is it just,
Like
Well, how do you measure it, I
historically,
suppose?
you
Yeah.
will know that I'm a stats kind of guy.
Okay.
I look at the ADR, who's
Yeah.
at the top, but we're looking at like Petra here, who maybe not having the same like performances like Fluorescent, but in the kind of like those clutch moments, those big moments, like every single time, she's just there for G2, saving G2 basically right now. So I think there's a nice blend of high statistical players and high impact players.
Okay. That's fair. Is that how you measure them too, Wyatt?
Yeah, definitely. And didn't speak a ton about the last 2 over on MIBR, but if they continue this run, if we get the repeat of history from last year that we were just talking about, that duo has propelled them to the next level.
Oh, yeah.
Again, like the round saving that we talk about with Petra, how many times has Jelly just suddenly ran into a site, flicked around and killed like 2-3 players on a retake? Oh, okay. Round that they simply did not deserve to win has gone their way. I think that happened so many times against Zeta. Yeah, pretty unreal play from that Brazilian duo. Can't be ignored.
Yeah, absolutely not. And we are definitely going to dive deeper into that later as well. Now, what the MVP will get of the Game Changers Championship 24, there's an award, and they're going to be given a custom-made bracelet tomorrow after the grand final. It's very similar to what we saw at Championships with Kang Kang and his really nice bracelet. So this MVP bracelet was made in collaboration with an LA jeweler called Good Art, and it's made of sterling silver. It's got those are real diamonds, guys. So it's a custom bracelet for the winner, and whoever gets it will be shining bright like the diamond.
That's crazy.
on
And
the bracelet.
that's why I'll never get a raise. Because apparently that's where the money's going. That's crazy. The diamond-studded bracelet? I can't.
Anyone who gets it probably deserves it more than any of us. So I think they.
Yeah, and that's
they
probably
get
true.
it. It's
Though
not
I
for
hate to
you.
admit it, that's probably true.
Okay, now two teams. These two teams that we met these two teams playing today met just 3 days ago, which feels forever ago, but they have already faced off. G2 had to pull out all the stops, actually, to defeat MIBR and stay in the upper bracket for as long as possible. What do you guys... Let's actually recap a little bit what happened those 3 days ago.
Yeah, on this first map, Bind, it was really close when G2 were on attack. I think there's a pretty good stylistic matchup for them. They're slow on those attack sides, and it was baiting out MIBR's aggression. But when MIBR are on their attack side, oh my god, they are ruthless. They are so aggro, it's impossible to deal with.
Like SRN is just really hard. Like SRN's playing Raze, but the speed at which SRN plays that, it's like Neon anyway, kind of thing is the way.
Genuinely, yeah.
So I think yeah, the map pool is going to be interesting today because the bind was a big asterisk for me over G2, and MIBR love a bind. So it's going to be interesting to see between the Ascent and the bind what today G2 decide to ban, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see a rematch on Sunset because MIBR have been tearing everyone apart on that map, but couldn't get anything done against G2 previously. They looked tactically way out of their depth against G2. And then no one's even close to beating them on it after that, which is so mental. So yeah, that's a map I'm really excited for the rematch on.
Yeah, I mean, it is a best of 5 today, so high chance we will see that rematch on Sunset. Now, MIBR, they lost that day, but honestly, since then, we've been thriving through the lower bracket. They took down Zeta, and then they also took down Zipto yesterday. All my Pacific babies are gone thanks to MIBR, but well earned, especially with these kind of performances. What you guys were just talking about, SRN and Jelly just, you know, totally fragging out of their minds.
Yeah, it was another crazy day for them too. Like, it was just, to be honest, that second map felt like a bit of a blip, and maybe we don't see, I think it's split, right? Maybe we don't see that today, because that was a bit of a blip. But like every other map right now, Jelly and SRN are just stealing the show away, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Do you feel like they've gotten better since dropping to the lower bracket?
I mean, the sample size is small, so
It is.
I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say really. SRN and Jelly.
Is
it's
that
like
the only
SRN goes in and then
Is that
Jelly.
like the...
No, of course. Like Sayori as an IGL. Like, there's some fragging IGLs in the tournament, but fragging IGLs that both have the IGLing down and the fragging down. Like Sayori has been kind of having these really big impact moments.
Yep.
So there are obviously other players in the team, but it feels like SRN's entries is like a big win condition, and then Jelly just popping off when they need to is like the other thing.
Well, that's a good point, and we're going to talk more about that. But before that, we did get to have a quick chat of Sayori. Speaking of Sayori, she had to have a quick say with Mika Fab, so let's see what that's all about.
I've got with me Sayuri from MIBR. Sayuri, you guys are on a roll in the lower bracket. I'm wondering how you keep the energy up for every reset, for every series, which is like elimination match day after day after day to pull off this miracle run.
We really want to win, so we have to have the energy. We have no other choice, so we have to win. We want to win, so we have to have energy.
There is no better motivation than that, so good luck to you.
What do you make of that, Wyatt? You know, you've been casting a lot over a number of their games. Do you think it's just, you know, pure performance? Do you think it's a mental factor of being really eager to stay in the game? How are you feeling about it?
I mean, they definitely seem like a really fiery team in terms of the personality, especially SRN getting super hype after making their own sick plays. From seeing as well some of the posts on socials, just like, yeah, I came in today, I said I was going to destroy Zeta, and that's what happened. Like, just maxed out confidence, maybe into ego, which is necessary at times, especially with that kind of play style. As soon as you get, you know, off a little bit mentally, not going for some of those same kills that they typically might be, game plan kind of falls apart. So yeah, need that level of confidence that they've got.
Yeah, well, we also have something more for you guys. Ahead of Game Changers, Coach Potter got to sit down with 3 members of the G2's 2022 championship team for a trip down memory lane, so check it out.
Welcome back to the studios. I'm Potter, and I'm joined by G2 Mimi, Petra, and Falcons Mary here. We're going to be rolling back the years. We're going to be taking a look back. A couple of these players are here trying to get their revenge from last year, and in 2022 actually had an incredible grand finalist appearance. So we're going to be taking a few looks at a few clips, incredible moments. Do you guys think, how's the memory going?
The clips will help.
The clips will help?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go right into it then, because some of these rounds are incredible. We're going to go straight into map 1. Now, this was on Pearl, and you guys were down here in this round. This is a 4 versus 2. I'm just gonna press play. We'll pause it in a couple instances and talk about it. But this should start off as a 4v3 retake.
Definitely remember this one.
We lost this one.
Yeah, we got. Oh no.
Okay, let's press
There's
play.
no way we didn't lose this. I remember our retakes. Guys, take
Oh.
elbow first, guys. Take it. Oi.
4 versus 2 here.
Oh, this is where.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Big one
look
by
at us.
one.
But then,
No, it's my
Oh.
turn. I got this.
no, you're dead.
And that was, I mean, kudos to Lori. That's an incredible shot. But how is the comms like in that instance? Because it's so hectic. You guys want to swing together, but who's in charge of comms like that in the hectic instances?
I mean, I don't know. It should have been me, I guess. But I don't remember what the calls were like. Yeah.
It was
Maybe
a
there
while
were
ago.
no calls.
She probably just said, I'm swinging, and then I'm swinging.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna press play again. Giuliano is in a 1v1, and this is such an impossible scenario. Not only a 1v1, but versus an Astra in a post plant,
Yeah,
right?
good
So
luck.
let's play this. Are you guys hopeful in this scenario? Or are you just like accepting the fate? Like, this is over.
Accepting.
This round.
Yeah, I mean, when you know that, when you tap, and you know they're not peeking, it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
over.
You lost it.
Okay. Well, you guys are down 6-11 here. Mimi, you're veteran. You've been around for so long. Petra, you as well. You've got the youngin and Mary here. What was the energy levels like? Were you feeling like down because you were down by so much, or was it still exciting here?
I think the energy was never down actually. Like we have a lot of experience, and you as well. We all know like we can come back from anything, and it's all very possible. And yeah, so we kept the energy up and stayed positive, and we were like fighting for every round.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, well, let's go straight into clip 2 because this is where it starts. This is where it starts. You guys were actually down 0-2, backs against the wall. You have to reverse sweep in the grand finals to lift the trophy. Not only do you reverse sweep in the last 3 maps, but you do it in a dominant, stomping fashion. I mean, you're up 9-0 here. You can do no wrong. And this clip, it's actually a 2 versus 5. I thought it was a 2 versus 4, but it's actually a 2 versus 5. Mimi, you get 3 kills here. And let's just remind you of what these shots look like.
I remember the comms. Mimi, can you wait? No,
I
No,
said,
yeah, I'm
I
dead.
literally
She said,
I am
dead.
dead. I am dead. I said it way before this. I'm like, Mary's like, stay alive. I'm dead, Mary. I am dead. I'm dead.
So this was like a, I'm gonna take some down before I go down type of
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah.
Okay, did you even realize that you killed that third after those shots?
I realized it like after I died. I was like, okay, good luck, Mary. I tried my best. You got this.
Okay, okay, eating the shock dart. So let's just enjoy this clutch then. So Mary, you know the spike is down here.
Yeah.
You're playing the chamber, of course.
Of course.
So, I mean, I remember this clutch. I gave him time. I wanted them to like overthink a bit, because you know I had the spike in charge, so I could be anywhere in the map. So I was just like taking my time, clearing out everything, and then I just realized that okay, I tapped, no one's here, I'll just bounce. And then they gave up both of their positions, so I knew that there were 2 in shorts, and then I knew that she TP'd in the smoke, and I just clutched it out.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, yeah, I think that sound cue coming from Omen definitely helped you out for sure
100%.
in this 1v2. But did you guys have dead comms in this moment? Like, did your teammates help you to put 2 and 2 together, or you just realized
No,
it right
they
away?
usually I remember in clutches like everyone would just stay quiet, you know.
Okay, okay.
Unless there is like some important thing that I didn't catch, they'd probably just call it out.
And I must say, we're also pretty good at like chaos. So when there's a lot of chaos, there's still a lot of comms, but we can hear each other, and yeah, we're very good at controlling it. So it was exactly one of those moments, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes even now, like our coach is like pausing to be like, this seemed so chaotic, and every player's like, we had everything under control. We knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like every comms is like, we know what's going on, we know what's not going on too. So I think sometimes it can seem so messy, but it just makes so much sense when you're in the moment.
Yeah, that's that synergy, that natural synergy. Beautiful. Okay, well, I mean, I'm glad I got to experience this 22-22 again. You ladies have been dominating in EMEA. How are you feeling about this tournament coming into this now?
I mean, I think we always feel good, but everyone comes in with like hard preparation, and every game is gonna be tough, no matter the team, no matter the region. I'm just very excited that we got to make it another year, and very blessed that it's in Berlin. Like it feels good as a European, right?
It feels good, honestly. You know, like they gave me all the experience that I needed, you know, as a 16-year-old, and now I'm going in like spreading their legacies and their experience onto others.
Yeah.
So like it's such a nice thing, honestly. Like I have so much respect for these two.
Wow.
They've shaped me, so I love them.
Ah, I miss old G2. But now we've also made a roster change on our desk. Kukuka here has returned to our roster, taking Wyatt's place.
I mean, he was
Welcome.
subbing in technically.
Yeah.
This is my desk. Hi, Minnie. Good to see
Hello.
you here. You enjoying the experience
Yeah,
so far?
it's off camera, being bullied already for the last 5
It's
minutes.
okay. I'll make sure that you're miserable when you leave.
Okay, now we got to talk about G2. Now G2, we just saw a bit of a chat there with Potter. They have one advantage over MIBR coming into this, and it's experience on the global stage, and experience especially in best of fives. They have a pretty great record here, only losing once.
Yeah, exactly. If people remember last year, yes, they were in the lower final, but that was only a best of 3. And even though, as we can see in this graphic, they haven't had quite an easy journey throughout this tournament, is in these long matches that G2 goes and has always been able to come up on top. So this record is one of the things that they have going for themselves after the insane experience that they've got in the tournament.
Yeah, I think it's like partly the Petra Mimi kind of effect really. Like they've been in these situations for the past, you know, beyond game changers, beyond Valorant. So having those players in your team can like lift up the other players. And when it gets kind of a little bit messy later into the kind of best of 5 series, that's when Valorant strategy goes out the window a little bit. Kind of those experienced players are there to kind of level everything out.
Oh yeah, so I guess especially as your experience as a coach, you've seen this, having many experience of going through best of fives yourself.
There was a 5th map we once, you know.
What is it that breaks down at some point? Is it usually early on in this best of 5 or like the
around the
halfway
3rd
mark?
or 4th map, like fatigue sets in a little bit, and then remembering stuff just goes out the window. Like remembering the preparation and remembering your own ideas, and it becomes messy. It just becomes messy. And so having those experienced players just keeping the fundamentals in check are just really important.
And also, if we think about on the other side, the experience from MIBR throughout this entire year, they were always losing the best of 5 against Team Liquid. It was only the only one, and actually the one that brought them here, that they managed to win. But with looking at what happened yesterday, when we talk about very, very close matches that G2 Gosen has been having throughout this tournament, yesterday was no different. I think that people and G2 Gosen have struggled a lot to start strong in the maps. It looks like they're a little bit lost. Like, it's not only that the plans are not coming into fruition, it's like the ideas are going out the door. We don't see them playing together. We see them making mistakes that regionally we don't usually see them.
Yeah, to be fair, I think there are mistakes happening on both sides. This is why we went so far into an overtime both of those maps. And even though the score was a 2-0 or 0-2, depending how you want to look at it, I think it really could have gone either way. But you know what? Let's hear from the ladies. Mika Fabs is down with G2's Amy, so let's see what Amy has to say.
We're gonna get Chamber and Viper out of the way because we've got an expert Cypher player over here in G2. Amy, you had an insane performance yesterday despite the loss. I'm wondering, you know, how it felt going up against the reigning champions in Shopify Rebellion.
I think they're a great team, and I think it just gives me a lot of motivation and fuel to play against them. So it was really fun, and I hope we'll get a rematch. But first, it's MIBR.
Yeah, but I like your energy today because I'm wondering if there's extra pressure on you, especially at this time in the tournament because of the legacy of G2 and especially in the house of Gosen.
I feel like I've been just waiting, like since I've been competing, you want to play again in this tournament. So I feel pressure, but of course it's good pressure. Like you want to have the pressure because it makes me play good and it gives me energy. So I'm really excited to play these last 2 matches.
You've been waiting for this. Yeah. This is your moment. This is Amy's moment to shine. So let's see you.
I think being able to perform under pressure is something that's very important to any competitor. But a player that I definitely want to talk about because this player has stepped up, and if they step up again today, Petra, that could be a really good thing. I mean, with Petra stepping up last time they faced against MIBR, that helped them carry over that finish line.
I love the fact that we always say that Petra is very reliable. I think that it's not only that we see it in every map. I think that the maps that we've seen, the bigger difference is when she has moved onto that fate. She's probably the best fate that we have in the tournament right now, and she always finds a way to make a difference. And isn't this kind of rounds like this, I think it's 12 from Haven, that we just see her making the right decision when the pressure is the biggest.
What do you make of Petra's performance?
It's been phenomenal. I mean, like, she was in my MVP list, so she's been very good. Before the tournament, like, she's obviously there as an experienced player, but like, I was expecting more from some of the other players in the team right now. I think she's having to carry a lot of the load for, specifically, to be honest, Rescue and Vania, I think, domestically, are the players that I look at as maybe some of the best players in the world. But I think Petra's having to carry a little bit right now, and I'm hoping that Turkish players kind of get into the comfort of the LAN environment.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting take. It's a very interesting take about it. Hopefully the rest of them step up. So Petra, shoulders aren't so sore after that. But we did also get a bit of Shopify's comms yesterday, who also had some thoughts about Petra. So listen to what they had to say.
Bro, like, I don't want to, like, say this, but I think Petra's the best player in the world.
No, I've been saying that.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I believe it.
Like, I don't want to say this because we're playing against her, but this might be the go.
I mean, that sounds more than just a carry. That's Larson said it.
We've been saying that probably Fluorescent is going to be getting the MVP, right? If Shopify is able to win tomorrow. And we've been talking about when we did the GOAT segment, she comes out on top. So if she is the GOAT, but then she says that Petra is the GOAT, then what are we doing?
Yeah, who's the GOAT? If the best coach in the world said
she's upstairs,
that
no,
Minnie's the best coach, are you the best coach in the world?
We'll have to ask Potter.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to ask him about that.
Right answer.
All right, now we like to play games at the desk. So Minnie, I hope you're ready for some mini games. And this one is courtesy of Kukuka. Kukuka loves this game. I've seen this game happen a lot in EMEA. It's called Two Truths, One Lie. We're going to find out how well we know our teams. So Kukuka, take it away.
So, of course, this game is a little bit difficult, and I think that the most anybody has gotten is one right. So, Minnie, if you get two, you definitely like beat the game.
Okay.
But I think I've been benevolent this time around. They're not too difficult. Some of them are a bit difficult, but I'm going to give you 3 subjects before we go to the statements. So you can choose first. We have G2 good to be true, shots fired, or is that your GOAT?
A G2 good to be true, just for the pun.
Okay, just for the pun and just because you're a G2 enjoyer. Okay, so here are our 3 statements. Number 1, G2 Gosen has the highest 4v5 conversion amongst our top 3 teams. Do you think that might be true? Wait until the second one. G2 Gosen is the only team that has not played double controller on bind in GCC. And number 3, every player on G2 Gosen but Mimi has gotten an ace this tournament. Okay.
Is number 2, is that this year?
Yes, this GCC. This Game Changers Championship. Victoria, of course you need to answer as well.
Oh, I will also answer? Okay.
Okay.
I'm lingering.
Wait, 2 truths and a lie, right?
Yeah, so 2 of them are true, 1 of them is a lie. You need to spot
I'm gonna go
the
number
lie.
2 lie.
Number 2 is the lie. Victoria, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with number 3.
With number 3, and surprisingly to no one, you're both wrong. Is number 1 right now? MIBR and Shopify Rebellion have a 37.5.
So hard.
I want to leave already.
It's so hard. 4v5 conversion, and G2 is around a 26. But it doesn't matter. Victoria, would you choose between our other 2?
G2 do need to go back to the
All right, let's go shots fired.
Okay, shots fired. Let's see what we have here. First statement, Rescue is leading in operator kills this Game Changers Championship. Visa Crew Blaze are the top 1 Sheriff enjoyers this GCC with 116 picks. Or only 2 players have bought an Aris this event. You know, after the buff.
Have to go?
Yeah, no, Victoria, actually, you go first.
Oh,
What
I'll
do you
go
think
first.
this one?
I am gonna go with 1 is a lie.
I go 3. 3 is a lie.
You go for 3 is a lie?
Yes.
Actually, 1 is a lie. Rescue is not leading in operator kills. It is actually, I believe it's Alexi, of course, so I'm going to give you an extra point. I believe we do not have time because we're a little bit short, and of course we want the teams to play, but Mini, you did terribly. It doesn't matter because you can come back next time. I will, you know, if we have time, I'll show you the last one, but terrible job.
Okay, well, good job, Minnie. Anyway, it's time for our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier, we asked you if you're getting a repeat grand final. Is it going to be NA versus Brazil? Let's see what you said. 69.7% of you said yes. What do you guys make of this? I don't know what...
I think that is justified, the performance that we're seeing from MIBR. Right now, they're peaking, right? Like, right after that Zeta game, the getting the 13-0, seeing yourself in the position where you might go out if you lose any match. It's usually a very high-pressure situation, but the responses that we've getting from them, even the conversations that we've heard from Jelly and from the players, they're feeling it. They spotted the problems and the issues, and they already have the information and the experience against G2 this tournament.
And Minnie, talk us through your prediction. Do we have your prediction up here?
No.
What is your
prediction?
prediction?
They don't care about me. I think MIBR do win today. I think the best of 5, G2 have the experience, but I think the map pool is a little bit shaky right now.
All right, well, it is time to welcome the players in this Game Changers lower finals. Let's welcome the teams because championship starts right now.
Going through any kind of loss, I will always try and take as much responsibility as possible.
And as maybe falling, Shopify Rebellion will advance! And for the 2nd year in a row, besting G2 in the exact same part of the bracket.
I know as the IGL, I could have changed the game with different calls, but I prefer me to have the burden rather than my superstars.
Para nós foi muito importante a nossa derrota contra a G2.
It's crippling there for MIBR. Complete annihilation.
Eu acho que a gente não perdeu para elas, a gente perdeu para nós mesmos.
We were in our ready room and Riot is telling me that there's a big fan outside and I need to sign something. So then I open the door to outside and my mom stands there. Sometimes that's just all you need after a loss, a hug from your mom.
My name is Henrietta. I am Mimi's mom. I am here to support G2. I'm just the proudest mom in the world.
Coming from a family with strong women is definitely a blessing. It really has taught me to not doubt myself. Knowing that the next matchup is elimination is, I don't like to think it that way. It's about being in the moment, and that's what the Champs is all about, is really like enjoying what's going on right now. That's what I would remind my teammates.
Em 2013 eu comecei a jogar LoL, então em 2020 lançou o VALORANT, aí eu comecei a jogar, é o meu primeiro FPS. O meu irmão também é pro, então a gente compartilha muitas coisas. O próximo jogo é contra a G2, eu acho que a gente não conseguiu fazer o nosso jogo contra elas, mas está mostrando, né, o nosso real jogo. Eu acho que vai ser 3-0. Se for 3-1 ali tá bom, porque né, elas cagam demais.
MIBR, you may be loud, but the crowd is cheering for us.
Go for it, girls.
It's lower finals time, baby. The teams are laser focused more than ever in this make or break moment. We've got G2 Gozen and MIBR, the sole remaining representatives of their nations, colliding in a battle for that trophy. And as the map draft comes through, it looks like G2 Gozen wants a second chance at that Abyss. And honestly, it's barely been 24 hours since we saw them go OT on this.
Yeah, I'm surprised also because the MIBR, they've been pretty flexible with their veto, and even though they haven't wanted to play either Abyss or Pearl, it's the split that they banned, especially after what we saw yesterday and also the experience that they got against the G2 Gozen roster. But of course, that means, as we're saying, that Abyss is going to be the first map. And I know, Mini, you're a very big bind enjoyer, especially when it comes from G2 Gozen.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love that bind. I think they should win. No, I think that it's going to be a rough map for G2 on the second map. I'm also a bit curious about the Abyss pick because their defense, specifically the B bombs, that B site, they didn't have an answer for Shopify yesterday.
Are you surprised that MIBR then decided to start on the defense for Abyss then? Because obviously G2 Gozen is going to start on the attack, and not only that, they won 100% of the post plants that they had yesterday. So if that spike goes down, the stats are on their favor.
I do, but SRN should be playing the Yoru, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we also need to see if they're going to change the comp.
Well, okay, I don't think they will, but I think SRN will be fine on defense.
Can I ask, do you guys have a favorite moment of falling off the map on Abyss? We had like a few.
Yes. The one from Sarah yesterday, it's like, it's the kind of thing that would happen to me, the thinking I'm opening the angle and it's just slipping in the last very corner. Oh, let's hope it happens again.
Yeah, pitfalls of the map.
Oh wow, she's
never
changed.
mind.
She's not on the Yoru.
Okay, well, Jet, Yoru, they're the same.
Yeah, but you know, it changes a bit the things. I mean, the biggest and the only difference that we're seeing between these two lineups is the Astra. Which one do you favor more in this map?
I love Astra on every map, but it depends on the composition, to be honest. I think Astra. Well, okay, in this composition, Omen is usually a little bit better with the Jet, but I'm surprised they went to the Jet with this comp. The Yoru, I think I prefer quite a lot, but it's all good. SRN's SRN, so all good for MIBR.
It's also good, like we're going to get the head-to-head Rescue versus SRN. I think that the impact from both has been massive, and probably she wants a little bit more freedom, maybe something to do with her ultimate as well, where she's been doing pretty well on that department. So,
Minnie, you know, before you leave us to join the Slugs, now that you've seen the map draft, how are you feeling about your prediction, and how many maps are we going to go to today?
Ooh, that's rough. MIBR banning split is good for them. G2. I'm gonna say we're going 5 maps. 3 to MIBR.
Oh. I actually disagree. I think that if it's a short one, if it's like a 3-0 or a 3-1, it favors MIBR more. And if we go the distance because of the record and because of the resilience that G2 have been showing throughout the tournament and the experience that they had, I say it goes for G2.
All right, well, you heard it from our experts here. Thank you so much, Minnie, for joining us. Now, we are gonna go into this lower finals, and everything has come down to this very moment. And taking us through the first map are our casters who have trained their whole lives to go the distance in this best of 5 series. It's Mimi and Ender.
It's very true. Thank you, Victoria. We're in for a good one here. This is pretty much the exact scenario as last year. A lower final, G2 goes in against a Brazilian team. G2 got knocked out there, but that was in Brazil. Now they're here at home in Berlin and playing against a completely different Brazilian team.
Yeah, 2 years ago, G2 Gales were able to make it into the final. Today, their chance to run that back, but they're going up against an MIBR that has looked so hot this tournament. They just continue to get better and better, Mimi.
Starting off on the pistol round, G2 for early towards B, dodging the knife.
Yeah, early on, camera was put down into mid, and actually MIBR have a lot of players in mid ready to react to wherever this hit comes in and get 3 players, 4 players on site quickly.
Paranoia is good, and no one from MIBR can really contest this site, so G2, oh, I spoke too soon! SRN had an angle over the top, and Jelly's made something too suddenly. This hit for G2 is completely stalled out.
Yeah, G2 need to slow things down and see if they can find a kill with the shock dart. There's also this lurk going into mid. As teammates of G2 fall, Amy drops as well. MIBR have struck first and in a massive way.
It's just a massacre. Every member but one has fallen for G2 Gozen. And now it's Mimi running to the other site.
I mean, hey, the good news for Mimi is this plant should just about be free. I don't think there's a chance for Sayuri to get here into heaven in time, so that'll be some credits to G2.
Spike planted. But Sayori's already here. We'll wait for one more player to come and support. And Mimi. Oh, she's been overwhelmed there, that's two. But Jelly won't allow it to get any weirder than that.
Hey, at least it's not perfect against G2. They can have a little win there at the very end, but man, this MIBR team has been looking real good. SRN starting things off with that really crisp headshot over the wall. I love using angles like that. And with that smoke in the center of sight, I just feel like the way MIBR approached every fight they took was really top-notch.
MIBR is a really momentum-heavy team. When you watch them play back at home to qualify here, it was all about getting into the game, yelling, screaming, building each other up, especially for Jelly and SRN. Those two getting pumped up early on their opponent's map pick, I think is so huge. But it's a best of 5, and it's about carrying the energy throughout.
Indeed. It's funny when you look at them sitting out there on the stage, because SRN and Jelly are on one side, and they're the loudest people in the world. And then Melissa and Jubes, on the other hand, much more quiet.
Yes, and then you just have Sayori in the middle,
the IGL,
leader, trying to balance everything out.
I love it. Rescue and the rest of G2 moving into A main pretty early here. Some nice shots from Rescue, but traded out with a good blast from Jelly. Flash into backside. I mean, G2's utility has been excellent on the hit, and now they've got numbers.
Yeah, that's a couple kills with the classic. Jubes is here. There's still just 3 players facing just outside of this smoke.
Here.
Thrown in, and then, oh, she's caught off guard. Amy's found another. Surely it shouldn't happen like this. Oh, it has. G2 goes in an instantaneous reply with nothing but classics.
Rescue with the 3K there to pull off a MasterCard Thrifty. I mean, how about that? G2 wake, I mean, they couldn't get a kill to save their lives in the first round, and now they're doing it with just pistols? You gotta shout out the utility, though, from Mimi over the top of sight to support the entrance. That was nice.
Nice. Let's go. Nice.
Just an unreal round to win. And suddenly MIBR is in the unfortunate position of only having a few sheriffs to work with themselves. They're going for a fast play. We saw this one from Shopify the other day, but it won't work out this time. Jelly has found one, though. That is, I believe, a Bulldog down.
And with this full mid control, it's hard for the Spike to get back grouped up with the rest of the team. They can slice off these rotations. The G2 have slowed things down. Rescue's waiting for it with the Outlaw. These players are gonna melt, but not if you miss your second shot. Good work from Melissa, but the rest of G2 are closing in.
That's good work from Amy. Well pinched here and dealt with.
Would require a miracle, and it's just simply not gonna happen. Amy's steady with it again. Amy actually having a pretty stellar performance yesterday up against Shopify Rebellion, especially on that second map.
An unreal performance from her.
It's looking really good on the Cypher on Haven. Of course, this Abyss map, another one that they faced off against. Shopify went more than the distance, you would say. And G2 after going to double overtimes. You have to feel like they think they could have won that series.
And they could have literally 2 rounds of difference.
Yeah.
And they're in that upper, not just in that upper, they're all the way to the grand finals by now. They get the double ban advantage. It's a different world.
Interesting, though, that heading into this round, round 4 is when G2 are taking the bonus because of the shenanigans early on. And that'll mean a much slower round, right? With Rescue holding onto the Outlaw for now. See if we can maybe step into A, but it's a high-low setup over on A. Between the KO and the Astra. We've seen MIBR run this before.
G2 should see it with this drone. Actually, they just fall away from the setup. Both MIBR players backside. Sayori has an angle. Will send in that pull, tries to spam away, but G2 just stall out for a second.
Yeah, some nice damage actually went down onto both Petra and Rescue. G2 very low for that, but rotations have actually been called in now. Some players moving into the A site leaves MIBR's B a bit weak.
Jubes. Would find a timing here. No, it goes the other way. Amy is traded out, so it's all right for MIBR. They maintain mid control, but now B is the problem.
It'll be SRN on the same angle as before. Petra spots it though. Now they're gonna have to drop down. buying as much time as possible. There's only 30 seconds, and now Melissa has made it into the site. A good turn of the flash and excellent shots to follow it up means the G2 have to leave.
They're going back into mid. 25 seconds. Are they going spawn to B? What's the call here for G2?
They're looking for a little bit of everything right now, ignoring vents and instead, yeah, wrapping around all the way through top mid.
15 seconds.
They should have time to plant this spike.
It's going to be close, though.
10 seconds left.
But the problems are A main hasn't been cleared. There's still 3 players coming back into spawn. G2 have to fight forward into one of these sides.
They'll choose spawn. Jelly will have a late flank, but the main force from MIBR is grouped up together.
Revealing area.
CT.
MIBR are so worried about someone lurking in their backs.
Anya, the superstar of last year in EMEA, can't do a thing. Taken down by Melissa. Mimi has traded back, but the outlaw shots miss again from Rescue. And that's MIBR succeeding in their retake.
Some flickering HP bars there on SRN and Sierra. But they win that round, defeat G2 on their bonus.
Shooting the spray already.
Unload a little bit extra at the end, why not? It was a really nice shot from Amy to start things off in mid. Unfortunately got caught throwing out the cage.
SRN, when she plays on this jet, I think no matter the map, does such a good job of finding that gap through smokes in the execute to get her kill, get out. She's almost always good for her when she's side anchoring.
Especially on a map like Abyss where there's a lot of these different funky angles you can play with the elevation.
All 5 members of G2 towards A again. They'll wait for the knife.
Should be hard to accelerate though, because there's a knife. Jelly can also pop the null command and shut down any kind of a hit, especially when you know 3 players are there.
Are they just gonna go for it regardless? Mimi has null command.
Who's gonna cast it first?
Astra is on site, but it's just the knife instead to get
They both get it off.
No utility, but the pull, it was there in time, and that's everything for MIBR.
I think that was Mimi that cast it first, but Jelly, you have a half second before you can slam that ult to cancel it out. It means no dashes, no updrafts to get into sight. Rescue just a sit and duck.
It's that instantaneous reaction. You have just a few frames to get
Hold on
done.
though, SRN on the wide angle. Okay. G2 are falling apart in this round.
Only Petra and Vanya now. And MIBR knows something is up in mid.
Angles are a bit isolated for now, especially if SRN continues to keep peeking forward.
Second round now. G2 is taking mid control, trying to wrap back A late, but they're going to be walking into a
30
crossfire this
seconds
time.
left.
Shouldn't be any way back into this round.
It's probably just a save at this point, honestly. They've got money, so maybe, you know, walking forward and seeing if you can find some kind of a shot.
Yeah, doing some damage to MIBR definitely wouldn't hurt.
10 seconds left.
But it looks like they're just full chilling.
Yeah.
And MIBR might succeed at the hunt as well. SRN sneaking up behind. And Vanya's gun is gone.
Easy as that. Petra the sole survivor. And ultimately, like, that's a tough round, right? Because it just gets instantly shut down. Yeah, from backside, the pull gets off, the counter null command, and spam through a smoke. Hard for G2 to take too much away from that play. If anything, it's MIBR finding it a bit.
What is
And there's
this?
that energy back for G2 for MIBR.
I think they're wondering how all these kills are happening through smokes.
Yes.
All good. G2's response coming to this next round is to ignore the mains early on, play for this mid control. They found some picks here before, and that knife into top mid seeing nothing is going to really make them feel confident in their ability to threaten space forward.
G2 have seen that trip in mid a few times. This time they send a shock to deal with it immediately.
Yeah, interesting that smoke they threw there, threatening a little wrap going around.
This is just an execute onto B. Rescue is already dashed out. This time, SRN not here to cause trouble.
Yeah, it was supposed to look like a mid-split into B, and that's why multiple players of MIBR actually fell into that space.
But MIBR have re-cleared mid, and they already have a player who could go for a flank. SRN decides against it.
Petra's looking. Petra is stepping forward here. Drone will see the one, but she's getting rushed. Barely gets back around the corner to survive.
MIBR will start the retake. Rescue in the heaven smoke. Tucked just
Look at
outside.
her.
They're going past her. That's one. A second for Rescue. She has the dash popped and is ready to deal some more damage from heaven. Jelly caught out by the trip, taken down by Amy. It's just so well done by G2. Oops, though. Already had two. That's a third. A 1v1. Amy runs for the hills. The time is very low. Jubes needs to get on this spike. She has the kill, but there's just not enough time.
Yeah, spike on the wrong side, so Amy goes for the giga-wide swing. Unbelievable. I mean, nasty shots out of Jubes, but ultimately G2 win that round not because of good gunplay, but because of excellent macro decisions. I love that fake of a B split that pulls players off the site, and then recognizing that the Astral Wall is an option. They play really actively in the post plant. Mimi from backside, a Res Q up around the Heaven Smoke. It's exactly the right approach for them.
And a great round from Res Q. A player that I think G2 needs to step up if they're gonna contest teams that have players like SRN, like Fluorescent at the end of this tournament.
It's interesting because G2 built this super team and anyone can frag here. Rescue's had a little bit quieter of a tournament. Speaking of active jets, loud jets, SRN.
Hunter's Fury, I think they thought this was just going to be a conversion into B off seeing that first player, but instead G2 is already up mid.
Yeah, ready for a mid crunch too as MIBR up in vents with 2 players. Petra's running straight into that and is not prepared for the second.
That's a spike.
Unbelievable.
Caught out in vents. How can G2 even begin to recover? Okay, Rescue barely holds on to the map.
Surely.
Just trying to swing into 2. SRN is here, yeah. That's the death note for the Jet from G2.
It's really interesting watching how MIBR are reacting to these mid plays. Of course, they got the huge assist from the early op shot. Now Vanya spotted out. But after getting exploited in mid a few rounds, this time we're really prepared for that fight.
It seems like G2 have a read on MIBR here. Their past Abyss games, they were not putting this much commitment into these like kind of exploding top mid, pivoting into A, pivoting into B late.
And it's interesting because like when you watch a team play over the course of a tournament, a lot of times you'll see them as the tournament progresses wildly change their approach to the map, especially early on in halves because the prep is so much more, you know, there when there's all this tape on you.
And it's so hard to do that too, right? Because you're not only dealing with prepping for your next opponent, but also trying to change how you play.
Yeah, but that's where, you know, around the halfway point, around 6-7, very common you'll see a timeout come in and a big strategic shift for a team. And if G2 were going to slam a timeout, I would expect them to maybe do a little bit less around mid, especially early on in rounds.
For MIBR though, you have to give credit to young IGL Sayori.
She's figured this out now a few times. After seeing that mid play, she calls for that crunch and it works really nicely.
Petra and Mimi other side, they've been going to events like this for years and years. This is Sayori's first, and she's already led her team to the top 3.
Yeah, for all of MIBR. Brand new here, and there you go. G2 goes and going to be calling a timeout. If we're inspecting the money right now, it's looking fairly grim. They could maybe get a hero rifle or something like this. Of course, they have the one saved over.
I remember we were listening into the interview with Mini yesterday, and he was talking about this strategy about not going where Floor's off is on this map.
Right.
I feel like that could be wise about SRN too.
Yeah, and if G2 were going to have a beat on SRN, it would be that, hey, they're playing over towards this B site a lot, especially they like that Heaven angle over on the top right corner of site, but also in the last round got a lot more active over there. But I honestly feel like that's maybe a little bit why G2 have been playing so much into mid, is especially avoiding mains early on. A main is one of those areas where Jet players will definitely like to go for, and if you're not really diligent clearing it out, you're going to get punished.
This round is going to be a bit of a tough buy for G2. And I think one of the tough things about playing this comp that a lot of teams have started to pick up is you actually don't have a ton of power ults to build that momentum back up. I feel like the only real big tools are the Hunter's Fury, the Null Command.
Right, and even those can be disrespected a little bit. Cypher can play on whatever side of the map that he wants and not risk his utility going down.
Yeah, a lot of teams will have those anti-KO ult setups. So what's the adjustment for G2?
Well, first thing is they gotta spot this up over towards A. SRN.
That's a LAN angle. Just a millimeter showing from a G2 member.
See them though, using the drone, the flash over the top. Even then, SRN nearly connects the shot.
Use the dash though. She's kind of stuck in this corner.
Switches over to the shotgun to reposition. I like this. And honestly, G2 approached that really nicely. That box on the corner there, very spammable. So a lot of times, very important to put some bullets into that so that you can't just hard hold the angle that SRN was on. You can saw some of the chip went down, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and that doesn't look like much, but you got rid of the knife from Jelly. You got rid of the pull from Sayori.
Problem is, what is that trip? What is that, people? Anti-jet updraft dash trip.
What is it even attached
I don't know what it's attached to.
I didn't know there was a piece of the map up there.
A lot of the times you don't look up for stuff like that.
Cypher players too. Lucky for G2, it seems like they want to call back into A. Look how deep Amy has gotten in this round.
Yeah, trying to go up this right on that. Look at that ultimate coming through.
Amy heard the steps. Petra's ult is called in off of it. That is sick from G2 Ghost.
And it was at the same time Mimi sold a fake onto the B site because the knife went down, and G2 have always been execing with their knives. Mimi's calling has been really good in some of these rounds.
Masterminds Mimi. They still don't have the weapons they would love for this post plant though. And MIBR are inbound with this retake.
Rescue up close, right against the smoke, is ready for it! Look at the two coming in! And Petra dishing for a little bit more. A good dart from her slows down MIBR's advancement, but there's still so many players to worry about. Up in heaven, this Petra finally is gonna be going down. The clock is down to about half. Molly out onto the spike. Jubes is just waiting for a kill, but there's still that lurk that they're waiting against. Up and down, Mimi gets the kill, and it's Sayuri, the IGL in 1v3, and it's just not gonna happen. G2 pull it off.
That is an incredible call from Mimi and G2 goes in. They did not have guns going into that round, but it did not matter.
What a pivot. The MasterCard thrifty, I mean, fantastic shots out of Rescue to find those kills. But also the fake, as you said. Amy switching up and going for mid lurks. Instead of sending multiple players into mid, Amy's able to work with her camera, with her cages, to get him embedded up in that forward spot. That opens up the ult.
MIBR still have money though.
That they do. SRN, very forward on the op.
And luckily for them, that's not a round that I think G2 will be able to repeat.
The thing is, if you clear away A main, there's only so many places the jet can be. It's like on a forward line towards B or up on heaven. It's not even all that common jets will look for the op into mid.
And it's the prior here. So G2 might already be locking in a hit on this A site.
I mean, and if they do hit, the thing is, right now, Cypher was playing like deep towards spawn to be outside of the range of Mimi's null command. Now is actually rotating away. I was gonna say no one could actually flood into backside or you'd lose that util.
No command there. Oh, rescue into heaven, Sayuri! She's one that blinded, close enough on the paranoia, and is gonna try and double dip for more. Spam won't connect.
Great shot out of Vanya. Sniping away Melissa, but now Sayuri looking for an opportunity out of heaven.
She's not gonna get anything here. Instead, Spam coming back the other way brings her down to 25. And MIBR have another retake on A.
Ooh, the smokes are down now, and the flashes come on through. MIBR maybe tagged up a bit themselves.
Another flash. SRN now has gun. Spike is still not planted, by the way. SRN trying to find an angle. Another smoke for G2. Finally, Mimi might just get the plant down. She sticks it.
There's no flashes for MIBR to get back out of that smoke, and there is a tiny little gap.
Instead, they're going to go back towards spawn. Look who's here, Petra, on for an MVP performance with this round. She's taken down by MIBR Superstar! Oh my God, Mimi! Whether the leadership or the shots, she's just got it all for G2 goes in. That is filthy!
Good Lord, Mimi's electric! Unbelievable 3K out of her. The round just about to slip away after a few missed shots, but Mimi's back on top. You gotta respect it. I mean, I think Vanya getting that kill was huge, but then that, come on! We were just watching the clip where Mimi got the ridiculous 3K 2 years ago in the finals on this very stage. She's getting another one here to try and go back.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Doesn't even phase her anymore.
Unbelievable.
This entire game has felt like MIBR gets some wins in the sails. They're starting to feel good. And then
the second they're on open seas,
yeah,
it's a storm. And it's called G2 goes in.
They're a pirate ship ready to go. So MIBR are going to call their first time out of this game. 3 rounds left in the half.
Problem for MIBR, no real money on this one. So honestly, like, I'm of two minds when it comes to like approaching an eco round, especially towards the end of the half, because one is, and we saw it from MIBR earlier, is you run something aggro off the rip and you try to, you know, jump the gun, get in front of G2. Last time that was a pretty active mid play. The other is deny information entirely, show absolutely nothing, threaten stacking somewhere, and force G2 to eat up some more time on the clock. I'd like to see them take that approach this time and not offer up quite so much to Mimi, because the information she's getting, she has been calling around so beautifully thus far.
G2 have changed their approach to mid. They're not going for these deep lurks anymore, but they've still threatened a lot of pressure there, which I think has been causing problems for MIBR's defensive calling.
Yeah, this A main control has been really effective for G2. Because you see either a forward hold and you know, hey, Cypher's probably over on the B side. Maybe that op is there too.
Yeah, since the round we talked about it, SRN's op has been completely nullified. She had to retake in back-to-back rounds.
SRN going for the full walk up there.
Now has to walk right on back.
Yeah, shameful. Couldn't get the kill and is now out. That said though, G2 still haven't seen quite so much. I think they're expecting more of a lean into the A side because SRN was so far forward.
Remember, the last Seeker round from MIBR was a top flash play into mid, very aggressive. G2 making sure to defuse any tripwires here.
Now there's a very forward camera, so that's why no one's really playing on the site. SRN's gonna be able to rotate quickly off of that one, no problem. But we are down now into slightly concerning territory, 40 seconds.
Shouldn't be too dangerous though. Rescue dashes into the site. There are 3 players here from MIBR, and it's really a game about plant denial now. A smoke for SRN to walk deep. That's a 1v1 against Vanya. Rescue did trade that out, but it was an excellent shot from SRN. Can Jelly do the same? Spots out a player, can't connect it, and the duelist on the other side is really stepping up in this round.
Rescue's just been frying this round, this game. Now Petra, assisted by a flash into backside, is gonna get hers before being traded out. It's about as good as you can ask here for G2.
Very seen, and Rescue's just gonna take the long walk. Couldn't quite finish this one. So that's some reasonable damage from MIBR, but I really would have liked a round.
Yeah, at the end of the day, 2 rounds left, not gonna mean too much of anything in the grand scheme of things. But this is where I'm wondering what that pivot is going to be. It looks to me like SRN is still going to be going for the op, makes some sense. But I think a passive line on A could be really effective for them. Because so far it's either been the forward hold on B or the forward hold in A. They've gotten forced off of that angle a lot. I don't think G2 are giving it up easily.
And that's the difference, right? SRN playing against Zipto, playing against other Brazilian teams regionally, was almost always getting value from these forward offlines. Wow. G2 is not giving it.
Rescue is feeling so good. That's an attack up here, waiting for SRN to overextend on B.
She has a Blade Storm in the back pocket if they have to go into an execute later.
Yeah, I like it. Interesting that Mimi's hanging out in mid with Amy as well. G2 goes in, probably not committing off of this one, maybe even just leaving Rescue as a late lurk, or to spot any jump peaks for a free kill.
Look at the rotations from MIBR. They leave SRN forward on A. And set up 2-2 between mid and B.
Absolutely wild. But this is the benefit of having a duelist that is just willing to walk up on lines. And G2, because they didn't put that active A main control down, have allowed this to happen.
G2, call looks to be fake A, go into B. SRN makes contact. She gets a kill as well. Does she believe this fake? No! She deals with it on her own. And there are still players from MIBR on this B site.
Everything is on Rescue in this post plant. We'll deal with some tripwires, but you gotta feel like G2 need to get active. There's a cosmic divide on the opposite side.
Vanya might be that hero instead. Teleported up top. Jubes in the close corner. Sees a shoulder, but that's not enough. Jubes wins that fight. Petra is stuck out in the open here, but can't do anything for it. And Rescue's blades, they go wide, allowing MIBR to win on this retake and bounce back.
Mimi's gonna be kicking herself after a round like that. Decided to stop going for the A main control, and then SRN just gets a walk up like that. I mean, that's gutsy too, because SRN could have easily been walking into a stack.
Almost any other jet, they're going to stop peeking A main after the amount of rounds G2 was pressuring her off that line. Yeah. But you have to actually get her out.
It's dangerous too, because when you don't see that same... The repeak is what always gets you. You don't expect that necessarily.
Those 2 power ults for G2 goes in online. I think the 3rd for Mimi this half. Here.
G2 goes in with a really big pivot here. Have sent these same 3 players onto B side early on, changing up their scouting pattern to not get so predictable.
This is that passive line you were talking about. SRN deep in the site.
Really what I'm waiting for is...
Jubes up top. Sees ahead. Only needed a split second of vision. Now throws out her hat too. Wants another. Scans. Rescue. Takes the opener, but SRN has been here the whole time, waiting, biding her time, and she's just not expected on B anymore.
More challengers just keep approaching into the site, but SRN is going to sit them down. The shots keep coming through, but now it's a 2v2 on site. Smokes are going down, the pressure is coming up, and G2 goes in are finding the shots that matters. Amy with one, Amy with another, and now it is just Sayuri.
The IGL in the clutch. Amy's not looking. A 1v1, and Mimi peeks right into her. Sayuri, she may have been getting out cold in some of these rounds, but she ends the half with an incredible clutch to tie this game.
In the IGL 1v1 as well. It doesn't get any better than that. She's just cold up there, calm as can be. Knows that this is a very long day ahead of us, but we have Mika Fab standing by with one of our co-streamers in the studio. We're gonna be taking a look at that in just a moment.
Over here, come a little bit closer here because we are here on Elidia's stream right now on this watch party along with Fugu and Kelsey. So guys, how have you been enjoying the event so far?
We are really happy to be here, and let's go, Amy!
Oh, we have Amy fans in the house. What do you like about Amy?
She's so strong and pretty.
Yes, I totally agree. She is fantastic. I love her energy. You've had a lot of guests over here. You had, I think, SRN stop by the other day. Who would you like to stop by here on your watch party?
I don't know what does that mean.
Which guest would you like to have over here and maybe interview as
Amy.
well? Amy! Just so Amy. Only Amy stands over here. What's been your favorite moment so far in this event?
The ace of Amy.
The ace of Amy! Oh, Amy's the only right answer. What about you guys? Do you have any? Same. Amy stands? Amy stands. Amy stands only. Well, when people tune into your watch party, we do get the title I Am Her. How do you feel about that title? I like it.
So Riot come back to told me what I want the titles in the game. So I said I am her.
It's so powerful, right?
Yeah, thank you.
It's so powerful. Now, okay. If you had to pick an MVP for this tournament, because Game Changers Champions is awarding an MVP, besides Amy, because I know that there's only Amy stands here, besides Amy, who would you vote for MVP?
I think Fluorescent.
Oh, and I think this is obvious, but why, in your opinion?
Because every move in game, it's like wow. When she plays, she's so strong, and all the time I'm shocked when she do a clutch or something like that.
Ridiculous movement, right?
Yeah,
now the score is 6-6 right now. What's your prediction for the rest of the map? Amy will win.
Amy wins.
Amy wins everything here on Elidia's watch party. Thank you so much. We're gonna go back into the game. Woo!
Thanks very much, Mika. An incredibly close half here, 6-6. We even saw the other G2 team, G2 Brosen, as the Ghost
Yeah,
Girls
they're in the
call them
crowd.
here. Pretty cool. I think they were just competing together in the EMEA Spotlight Series.
Yep.
G2 won that one. Another one coming up in NA2, which I think they're also playing in.
Yeah, teammates, but also the biggest fans for today. And for tomorrow, they'll be rooting for. We're jumping into the second half here. Again, it finished off with this really sick clutch from Sayuri. Now the teams have had a moment to think and get ready for the second half.
So Sayuri calls her team to go into this B site with 4. No one's actually on the site for G2, but they're ready to flood in. Rescue in that heaven smoke, a temptation with SRN revealed on the trip, but she finds Mel first instead. Rescue dashes back, and MIBR have traded this out well. The IGL again is doing great work. Oh!
Just a nasty shot. Vanya's struggled so far in the first half. We know she is one of the best players in the world. See what she can do into backside. Gets the first one. Has now been taken down low.
But it's a high-low now for MIBR.
Shadows traveling.
Vanya smokes off the spike, but she's chipped down to 1 HP. And MIBR are just running her down. Jubes actually dies for it. SRN is blind now. This should not be possible. Vanya trying to stick to halfway. SRN baiting it out. She gets the kill. It's their time. It's down to the last second. And Vanya's done it. An absolutely unbelievable clutch.
Vanya is unreal. The 3K there. Getting on the spike during the paranoia. She had to get it to half. For the Red Bull clutch, I mean, just watch it again and appreciate.
But for MIBR, let's go! Just an absolute tragedy for them.
Gut-wrenching.
A 3v1 post plant against a 1 HP player. You cannot let opportunities like that slip.
Still, MIBR have gone for 3 sheriffs in this round. Don't forget, by the way, G2 won the second round after losing pistol in the first half. MIBR have had some tough luck on these low buys. But there's still some winning chances for them. Like, I don't want to oversell this right now, but if MIBR are able to find some kills, also say hello people.
Okay.
You get off the rope first. No, you get off the rope first. Sorry, jumps and... No, she didn't lose any HP. Good. That's a classic. What I was going to say, though, Sayuri is just 1 away from having the Cosmic Divide.
Amy. Spotted out. Blinded here. Okay. Rescue. 2 bullets, 3 kills. Couldn't ask for anything better. Did she go for the ace here? No. Jelly won't allow it. And hold on. It's a 2v3. I have the spike. MIBR will get the spike down.
Cosmic Divide. They gave the spike over to the Astra.
But G2, they're all grouped up together here. Already used a paranoia, and Sayori is dealt with. Jelly would need to get an ace here. But she's already so low. Swings into Petra, and no chances there.
Did you really think they could win the eco?
I believe for a second.
They couldn't even get off the rope, Mimi!
The Brazilian sheriffs, though,
I'm amazed they made it to the site.
Okay.
Honestly,
They've
wow.
learned from that one now.
They have. Next time they get stuck on the rope, it'll be fine.
Rescue 2 off Bladestorm as well here.
Enemy spotted.
I'm looking at options available. G2 going for a really true bonus here. Had some options if they wanted to buy a few more rifles, but feeling very comfortable with the lead they have at the moment.
Here.
I think Rescue might even try to creep down into mid off of this line. Spot out any jump peek shenanigans.
MIBR right now just playing contain in mid, though.
Decent forward information for G2. They used a KO knife into A main early on. There's this very forward camera that Amy was able to put down in B2 and the line they're holding in mid. MIBR are spending a lot of time waiting for the aggression that's just not coming their way.
Amy's own camera. Also not catching anything yet. But MIBR are going to group up and finish B.
I like this approach from G2 on a low buy. Really not giving much for MIBR to work off of. So Sayuri is going to end up throwing down the Cosmic Divide, you'd imagine, to guarantee this one.
There it is.
Amy.
Okay, Amy. Going for that one and actually being rewarded for the risk she took. SRN gonna take a risk of their own, just charges straight through that wall.
Planted.
It's right underneath Rescue, and Rescue's got no idea.
I really don't think you expect a player this deep.
Drone pushes them off the angle, though, and actually gets tagged on the way out. Brutal!
The tripwire again. 3v5. This is G2's bonus round.
And the
dart
dart
goes
misses?
sailing off the map, but MIBR, they're just gonna light up the kill feed for 3. Sayori, again on this site, making mincemeat of G2. The Bladestorm. Okay, Rescue wants to win this one. But the Astra's just running for the hills. She's getting pestered by utility, and maybe a little too confident in that one.
There was definitely an angle for G2 to get in there, but that post plant, down in numbers, the combo of Sayuri and Jubes was really nice. Playing off each other, smokes are coming down. It can get really hectic in those post plant situations.
We've had the SRN absolute giga carry, get in my backpack 500 ACS game. This one has been much more about the team. I think Sayuri and Jubes have had some massive rounds to keep MIBR in this.
Yeah. Ironically, the other side is kind of the opposite story. I think ResQ has not been as dominant as I would have expected coming into the tournament, but map number 1 looking real good. So hold on, ResQ is just up and underneath Melissa on the other side.
But she runs away.
Repositioning back over into mid.
Get SRN. Walks all the way up to this trip. Petra. ResQ as well, not ready. Incredible. SRN is gonna go hunting for more.
And at the same time, the rest of the team is moving over into B. Amy is trying to step up onto this ledge right now. Can she find the timing? No one's coming to clear her away. She finds the jump. That's going to be one end of the spike. Can't convert on a second.
But now the Agent of Chaos in mid. SRN activates again. Petra dinked. And the shorty, that'll finish the job.
Just brutal. The rest of G2 was rotating back through mid, back to the attacker side at spawn.
This is now a double flank, and MIBR, they now know at least one player is heading this direction. That's Vanya spotted out, but Mimi is an unknown quantity. Camera for Jubes. Oh, it sees her. Now the game's given up, and this round becomes that much more difficult to win. Mimi, okay, good start. Damage as well onto Melissa, but time, that's a huge factor here. It's taking away. Mimi eludes death yet again. Vanya's halving it, surely she can't get away with this type of game again. Not this time.
It got a little bit close, but MIBR played a masterful round. I mean, what SRN was able to do up into mid there, ridiculous. I mean, look at that. Heard the rotation from ResQ a little bit earlier, so it was primed and ready on the dart. Tripwire, whatever it's called.
Something like that.
He's able to find 2-3 kills in the round? Come on.
MIBR proving some real tenacity this game. Rallying back. They now have G2 reset on an eco. But G2 have won a lot of eco rounds already this game.
They have. SRN gets posted on an op, that high angle in mid, while the rest of G2 getting ready to push over into A main. Shots traded back, but Sayuri's not going to take any damage. I like that idea from MIBR. Play a stronger mid this round to make sure G2 can't get that cheesy push down and split your map right in half. Spot out the aggression and go for a grouped up reclear.
Yeah, MIBR a little traumatized by the eco rounds they've lost. They're going to
Never
play
again.
all together this time. Not take any risks. Clear every angle with the drone. And take a fairly open A site. G2 have a flood retake though. I think this dart flash combo could be potent. They can even use it, so it's still rotating in. Okay.
I guess we're just getting active anyways.
You have an operator, chooses to use the shorty to convert that kill.
Whatever works, Mimi.
Okay.
Don't doubt a god. I'm talking about Vanya.
Yeah. But that god falls too, and it's a little strange to me that they're investing the null command there. It looked like a one round already.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even notice that going down.
I wonder if it was like a misclick or a little panic.
I don't know. G2 calling a timeout to give MIBR a chance to think about that all. Yeah, honestly, how many kills has Sayuri been getting through smokes this game?
Yeah. More than you'd expect.
Happening a little bit too much.
Yeah.
No!
I live for the MIBR reaction.
Honestly, it's always good. It's always good. I feel like the player reactions this tournament have been excellent.
They have. Critical juncture now for G2. They're down a round on their map pick. They're going into bind after this, where MIBR has been lights out. So to say closing out this map is kind of a necessity for G2, I think could be an understatement.
Yeah, especially because this is the map they're really supposed to be winning after what they showed against Shopify yesterday.
Yeah.
Going
OT.
17-15?
Yeah.
That would have finished out ridiculous.
The issue, though, was defense. Remember, they could only ever win attack rounds in that OT.
Yeah.
Especially their B site was just getting brutalized by Shopify. Floor was running them over on the executes.
The thing is, I don't feel like G2 need to do anything crazily different. They've gotten caught out in mid that one round, that was pretty bad. But apart from that, it was just a post-plant situation in the anti-bonus where they should have won by all means. They were up 5v3 and just lost to some good shots. It doesn't seem to me like in this game it's a strategic problem. It's just some rounds not going their way in the ecos.
Yeah, they've only lost one rifle round this half.
Yeah.
But the thing about Valorant is you lose another and you're already looking down the barrel of a map loss.
I think it's interesting that they're opting to do very little in mid, just put down the tripwire. But I kind of like it. Playing a lot more aggressively for the sites, holding A main.
SRN buys an attack operator here.
Sova spotted out. Not seeing Jet though is a big deal.
I wonder if she expected something aggressive from G2, try and punish that with the off. They are going a little aggro in A main.
Yeah.
Said it's Jelly here to contain.
I really like these looks from attacking teams that just take early B main space and leave their opper to hold for an angle. Because, I mean, that's a favorite angle to just go for a little jiggle or go for a jump peek. Or you can also hold it for Heaven or all the way over on the left side where, you know, Vanya's thinking about going for a peek a little bit later. But what this does when you go for the op and you go for this playstyle is it slows you down tremendously. If G2 aren't doing things, you just have lost 50 seconds after a blink.
I feel like I've watched this round from G2 earlier in the half. It's a
And
fake
ult.
attempt, ult to use. That's a really big resource gone, and 3 players are still on A.
The thing is, there's still 2 players on B holding this, and SRN is entering with a rifle. It was switched over to Sayuri, so they're going to the backside. A good flash to start things off. But the kills, not all going MIBR's way. Vanya's able to escape and call in the rest of her team.
3v4. G2 need this round. Mimi has a flash. They'll work together to work back into this site. Oh, that's a good start for G2. Mimi keeps it going, and it's an easy conversion to tie us up again.
Yeah, everyone coming out from Heaven there on G2. It worked beautifully. Mimi starts it off with a flash, flashed herself into the site, as a matter of fact, and keeps it going. MIBR definitely felt the time pressure here, especially after they got sort of beaten to the punch. They were trying to go for a fake over into the A site, but a really nice time to re-clear of A main. Nets G2 so much.
Rescue also recovered the operator that SRN had brought into that previous round. So now she gets her turn. She'll go aggressive on B.
There's 4 players here, though. It's so hard to get a kill against all this util.
And Rescue. Do something here. Already knifed up, yeah. Gotta get away from that one.
Ouch. Wow, if Melissa's the only player with a Sheriff, a rifle there may have had a kill.
Astra Wall used. Dart. Locks off. G2 separated by this
SRN, look at go! Into backside, diving around the Astra Wall. That's absurd. Finally, she's put down.
But in mid, Jubes spots out 2 players, but can't make it work. So now G2 have this even again. Petra swings through the wall, and timing! Oh, how has she lost that?
Jellybangs gets the kill and gets out. It's a 3-on-2 now.
Jelly fell off the map!
What?
What is going on? 2v2. They still have an Astra Star for the Brazilian side, and ult as well to work with. This is a very tough one for G2 to win. Time. So far gone, they have to kill this Astra, but she gets the pull-off in time and wins the fight against Amy too. Now it's Vanya, a familiar position, but this time without the spike half, without the luxury of time, and with no HP. It's 10-9, MIBR pull ahead again.
What an absurd round. I mean, SRN's pathing into the site is just a thing of beauty. Using that wall to sort of give that pathway up to top site,
Yeah, she went
down
back
onto the
and forth through that wall a good 3-4 times in that entrance.
Mimi's trying to figure out where Jelly is, or where SRN is. Just in the walls and down.
Goodbye, Jelly.
Still won the round.
Yep. Calculated, didn't give away an ult orb.
So smart.
Laughs it off though for Jelly. Why? It's not the same vibe for the G2 coaches.
Same knife thrown by G2 this time around, but a very different setup on a low buy.
Weird money for G2.
Yeah. Hero rifles, because, yeah, a few players can buy next.
He only has a classic.
It's a tough choice to make.
So Rescue.
And so much forward space.
Yeah, she's been so good this game. And no one's ever walked up to this position Thus far this map, there are a lot of
They're
MIBR
so
players here. SRN! I didn't even look like she was ready.
Credit
Gets
to
the kill.
MIBR, like being fully ready for that, because G2 really tried to sell that same walk-up into B main as they saw last round with ResQ. Tried to do this little feint, but MIBR, Sayuri has called around this perfectly.
Yep, straight back into A. And only Vanya is here to anchor.
Bulldog up from heaven, but...
Second trip in the same spot. Precautions taken.
Jubes has had all the different trip ideas.
She has. G2 used their util very early here.
Oh dear.
Oh, they're rewarded for it. Petra, just 1 for 1.
30
But
seconds
wanted
left.
something more. Vanya, what a shock dart. Down to 53 health. Smoke's now getting cycled towards heaven, and MIBR.
Amy ran into both trips, and now there's 3 people wide swinging her.
Both of them. Okay. They know she's here. But the rest of her team has to come and bail her out. If this can be a pinch, that's massive.
Hold
And
on.
Amy has found a gap in this round. Vanya smokes a spike. Flash into main, but the flank is dealt with, so is Vanya, and now this round is nigh on impossible for Mimi, who has no HP.
Well called around from MIBR. Remember that started out with that mid-aggression they were able to re-clear, and then kept things really simple going into the finish.
Second game now, where G2's defensive side is struggling.
Yeah, and this time without that little bit of cushion towards the end. I think this is pressure moment for G2, for ResQ especially. He's had a good game, but this op has to be good.
And it's an op duel on A. Both Jets with the weapon in hand. How?
A jump peek!
Did she win?
Are you
that?
kidding me?
It's unreasonable to expect her to connect that shot. I mean, when
ResQ
was
was
the last time?
completely unprepared for how fast SRN went for that.
When was the last time jump peaks like that worked? That's like the beta tech.
It's been a long time. They nerfed that.
Yeah, okay.
SRN does not agree with patch notes.
No, she doesn't. Making a real case for MVP.
It's interesting though how MIBR have called this. They use a drone over into B, maybe feinting a little bit of extra pressure, but really they're still trying to see if G2 are going to overplay their hand down a number. And they have. That A site completely open.
Yeah. Haywalt will stop G2 flooding into this one quickly at all.
Vanya got that operator now for the retake. But we know that op is going to be so hard to find value because MIBR always play forward in the post plants.
SRN, single-handedly with this operator, has brought this into a 3v5. I almost feel like G2 has to save at this point. They're going up against 12. 250 credits on Amy, 300 on Petra. They just don't have the resources.
The unfortunate thing about saving too is you don't have chances to get ult orbs back, right? Petra's not going to have that ult now in a must-win round, round 22. But simply put, G2 have not been able to find the answers to this wild style play of MIBR, right? Whether it's the start of the round, SRN just sprinting A main, full audio, jump peeking, getting the kill, or in the post plants, always fighting into G2 spawn.
I love watching MIBR. Because it feels like they play such good, proper Valorant, call good mid-round, slow down the game, and then they just have one psychopath who's jump peeking you at the start of every round, who's going deep on the post plant with an operator, and who's now 24 and 16 on map 1.
SRN just forces you to play differently. You can't jump peek anymore. SRN's going to be ready for the angle. You can't take a moment to breathe. SRN's going to be forcing you off of the angle.
G2 goes in, have cobbled together a buy.
Oh,
Petra.
warning shots from SRN into mid.
You won't get another warning.
Vision. Get out
Watch where ResQ is though. This is a little bit of an angle where she can dodge off the angle, get back in after waiting out something like the drone. ResQ needs to find something, but again, she's spotted. Melissa has not allowed ResQ to play the game this half.
Spike retrieved.
This round is so slow from MIBR. They want to finish B.
don't forget about Jubes and a late mid lurk too.
Rescue, the 17-year-old star for G2. She has to be the one to keep them alive this map, and that is a great start. Connects the operator shot onto SRN. Now Amy's utility comes in as well, but that trade through the smoke from Jelly.
Rescue, the only player on B here, but MIBR don't know that. With 35 seconds left on the clock, they're calling the rotate out.
Jubes! Oh, that was her chance.
30 seconds
Doesn't
left.
get anything for it. It's the 3 new players for G2 Gozin who have kept them in this game thus far.
And now G2, you gotta feel like they know what's going down. They're leaving that A site open, and they're gonna allow MIBR to take some more forward space. This is so important for Melissa. She has to go on a hunt.
G2 fully group up.
They're ready for it.
They should not let Melissa get away with anything. But Petra is so far ahead of the rest of the team. There's a paranoia. Melissa tucks in. Jelly as well is making something here. Down to 10 health. That angle is good damage onto Rescue. The Blade Storm whips. She's off the map. And MIBR strike first. They claim G2 Gozin's home map.
Melissa with the 3K to close it through. What a round! Down into a 2-on-4, but they took their fight so perfectly. Every angle Jelly's going on to. Just ridiculous.
MIBR, an incredible start to this series, and we go to their favored map of Bind when we return.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. I just feel so good, good. I just feel so good. Welcome to Rebel Homeground.
with Coach Marlo of MIBR, and we have Arthur to help with some translation. I have to ask about that last round because that was a 4v2. What was going through your head?
Então, na sua cabeça, a gente tem que saber o que estava passando nela, porque foi um 4-2. O que tem para dizer pra gente?
Eu sinto que elas ganharam vários rounds assim e estava basicamente na hora da gente começar a ganhar também. A gente foi crescendo confiança durante os rounds e eu sabia que uma hora ia sair um round assim pra gente.
Well, comparing to G2, they also have situations like that they were winning. So I was just trusting that it was about time for us to start getting those for us as well. We started growing confidence through the game. So I guess that was the timing.
Especially on this map, right? Really quickly, I just want to get your thoughts because this is a map that MIBR don't really play and this is a map that G2 is actually very comfortable on. What was the game plan for this?
Então, especialmente nesse mapa que parece que vocês não jogam muito, mas é uma zona de conforto da G2. O que você esperava para entrar aqui nesse jogo Nabis?
Na verdade, a gente veio com todos os mapas treinados. É um mapa que a gente sabia que era o conforto delas, mas a gente conseguiu ver que não era tão forte assim, por mais que elas joguem tanto. E a gente conseguiu explorar alguns pontos. Eu acho que o que dificultou hoje nesse mapa foi mais o nervosismo do que o jogo delas.
So yeah, we did enter the game knowing that it will be a comfort zone for them, but we prepared all the maps we could before coming here. So in the end, I think what made it a little bit harder was just a bit of nervousness, let's say. But overall, we could actually exploit some things here and there and actually get an advantage.
Well, thank you very much and good luck to the team.
Welcome back. MIBR steals away G2 Gozen's map pick of Abyss away from them in this incredible very first map. But before any of that, we got to talk about our HyperX reflex moment from Vanya. When we were on the pistol round on the second half, we had an incredible moment in a 1v3 situation.
Yeah, this was insane. Vanya was clutching like this on Abyss the other day as well. Is able to tap that spike, bait the first player in, finds the kill. On 23 HP, by the way, was saving the paranoia the entire time for a bit further delay. That allowed to get it to half, and then finding the headshot on SRN. Last millisecond defuse. That was so sick. I thought this was going to be the turning point in the game, where it just went all in G2's favor, to be honest.
The thing about that, Wyatt, is that there are many rounds that look like they're going to be G2 Ghost's turning point. The getting the eco rounds, because we've seen them struggling a lot in those gun rounds. I believe at the end of it was a 9-3 on favor of MIBR. Is the fact that they're not able to convert the rounds where they could have an advantage or they could have a lead on, maybe not finding any profit in being aggressive or in trying something different for their side. On the other hand, we see an MIBR that brings in the Jet that was having a lot of impact. It is something that we expected, but especially on that attack, just seeing the aggression, the operator being used the way that she was using it, just being so incredibly proactive even after the plant, it was too much for G2 Ghost to handle.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the operator. Let's talk about that here in this head-to-head stats. Particularly with that.
Yeah, it's crazy to see that SRN bested ResQ on Abyss specifically, and in the op kills specifically, because ResQ has been so dominant on both sides of this map, in fact, with that weapon. This is, listen, ResQ's best map in this tournament by far is putting up almost, 0.3 more kills per round on this map, on this Agent Jet, compared to the others. And not being able to best SRN here is scary for the rest of the series when we're looking at the map, especially when there's going to be Neon. We've got Bind next with the Raze head-to-head. ResQ is going to need to step it up on those agents because SRN is in prime form.
And that's the problem, right? Like everything that MIBR is trying is working. Even using, as I was saying, the operator on the attack, SRN just will keep pushing. And now moving on to Bind, we saw it yesterday, time after time. It's not only about finding those openers, which by the way, she was doing very, very effectively. 8 and 3 in those opening duels for SRN. If she's feeling herself, if we're going to get the same bind that we got yesterday, I mean, Victoria Pacific did not enjoy it.
No, I think G2 looked very serious just now. They looked like they're kind of recalibrating how they're going to be reapproaching Bind coming up next. In fact, we did get to hear a word from their coach leader, so let's see what he had to say. Well, it looks like they're still discussing instead, and full well understandably, because as you guys have been pointing out, as your casters have been pointing out, Bind is a map for MIBR. How is G2 Gozen going to tackle this?
Yeah,
They've been struggling for quite a while, right? I think that they also tried putting Petra on the Fade, but overall, and the feeling that I got in Abyss, and I think it's going to happen on Bind, individually, we know that they're brilliant. We know that they have the aces, they have the crazy clutches. Is the overall, the communication, sometimes it looks like it's not there. I remember a 2v1 moment right there on Abyss where we see that there's something flunt in there and the pressure probably getting to them. But as I'm saying, it's between map 1 and 2 that we have seen Mimi constantly giving that pep talk to everybody into what the biggest issues are and how they're going to fix them.
Yeah, heading into this Bind, similar to the first time these teams played Bind against each other in their last BO3, G2 are starting on attack. That was the side they performed better on. We'll see if they can get the 6 rounds they did then, or even more as we head into this. They're really going to have to step it up here. MIBR look elite on this map.
I mean, I was saying in the pre-show, and it was one of the questions in the G2 Good to be true. The G2 Gozen was the only team in this tournament that did not play the double controller here. And even for this lower final, they want to try this approach, putting Mimi on the Breach and Amy on the Viper.
Yeah, that is interesting to see. A switch up coming into this one. They really struggled to defend these sites against MIBR. This is a great comp for playing retakes instead of the anchoring that was failing the last time when MIBR were hard hitting and just destroying the defenders.
I want to see how well drilled this is, because on the side of MIBR, we've talked about it, SRN is crazy. Jelly on this map is on a different planet. This is also the first time that Amy's going to be playing the Viper in this tournament.
Well, you guys have made excellent points, but we need to let the game move on. We're heading into map 2, and this best of 5 is far from over. Let's send it back to your casters, Mimi and Ender.
Thanks very much to Victoria and the desk. MIBR have stolen away G2 Gozen's map choice. And Chrissy, this is the map that G2 got kind of owned on the last time these two teams played. So now here, with a brand new comp for G2 Gozen, the question is, how much did they fix in the little time they had?
Yeah, honestly, to me, this seems less about like making a ton of fixes and just making sure people are on like better agents for this map. They need to switch something up. I think Mimi on Breach could be really interesting, but this is a bit of a Hail Mary, I feel, for G2. This is a map that is expected to put MIBR up 2-0.
G2 will start out on attack. And you see Mimi with a stun primed to go down B long. Maybe a double satchel to follow. Trap that Viper out.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of this with Mimi just holding the stun ready to go. If that Prowler had hit something a little bit closer, maybe we could stun, maybe we could satchel. As it is, the single satchel comes through off the stun, and Octagon's completely owned by G2.
But MIBR still have hookah control and even have SRN peeking out forward here.
Yeah, G2 are going to go back into the sand space and re-clear it. Mimi saw something and has a flash available if they want to fight, but it looks like to me that it's just going to be a full-on rotation out of here into the A site, just ignoring that sand space entirely.
They call back to A. Sayuri!
Nice.
Again! She was lights out game 1 and just looks to continue it here, okay. Forced to teleport away. Amy. Oh, Jelly actually doesn't go hunting there.
Sayuri!
Another dink? That's 3 players headshot now. Only 1 kill.
Just only hitting heads, and as she continues doing damage through smokes, I mean, she is the smoke demon. She just keeps finding these shots. And G2 maybe get 1 on the end, but it is all sorts of falling apart now.
Sayuri. The only player she didn't damage this round is the one left alive, and Jelly on the flank puts that one to bed so swiftly.
Yeah, a bit of a madness round there. MIBR jumping in the TP early, G2 calling around it, but then getting split up themselves with Amy jumping in. But really, this was just the Sayuri show. I mean, hey, playing around the edge of that smoke, that's a true one-way for her. It was those shots from backside that looked really nice to me.
And this is, I think, really scary for G2 Gozen, going up against an MIBR who is just 1-year map pick, who's coming in confident, wins a pistol round with their IGL fragging out. Just like a recipe for a snowball.
Rescue getting quickly over to U-Haul, but these paint shells just being traded out a bit. Best case for G2 right now is they can find some way to fight through their smokes on site. You can see they're looking for it. It was a nice flash, and Petra's able to find a kill, but these guns at longer range, a little bit too much to deal with right now. G2 still have no real stance in the space.
That wingman's vicious. Hunts for maybe an hour to finally stun up onto ResQ, and she's chased back in to just end this round.
Ultimately, what I'm looking for in this half
There's
is...
so many fist bumps there. A little long.
Don't leave her hanging. Come on now. Yeah, G2 definitely have the home crowd behind them here, but need to get this next round under control. We already saw there's some ideas to fight into backside with this breach. A lot of good utility there, but primarily why you would take this breach over something like the Gecko is for really explosive plays in early rounds.
Sure.
Whether it's going to be a stun into showers with a double satchel, whether it's stunning off of Prowler contact into U-Haul. The breach makes it challenging to impossible to play on those forward lines consistently as a defender.
Oh, fight brewing outside
Come
showers.
on.
I think that was combined with a haunt from Melissa.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, Petra gone, that's such a big person to lose. No fade utility.
And different to running the Gecko in that breach slot. Now there's no info to be gained with anything. G2 are gonna have to step into these lines, and at some point, Satchel in too. Quickly into the side is ResQ, right against the wall though, but no one can follow. A good molly from Jubes, and the shots lock down the site.
Yeah, she was so low before that engagement even took place. G2 slow down. Contact into this site, but MIBR have 3 players all ready to swing. And Vanya's putting the spike in jeopardy. She makes good on it.
Okay.
1 kill, teleport out.
That's one way to make the Omen make sense. Haven't even really given too much time to that. G2 are gonna end up jumping in this teleporter. They've still got Amy hanging out on A short. Her fight up against Melissa is the one to break this side open or not.
Find you. Melissa's haunt. Doesn't find a tag, SRN.
30 seconds left.
A little awkward there, but Satchel's away. Now the swing from Chavez, that was 1 bullet! 1!
Down A.
And she gets the second too, of course she does. It's SRN! And she is on fire. That's a bonus round for MIBR. I almost feel like G2 need to take a timeout. They cannot let this snowball.
And I fear it will, because now I started sitting on 7 kills, has a showstopper ready. This whole play starts off with the pick that SRN was able to get outside showers with the help from Melissa's utility. And it ends with not being on the line of the breach. It ends with getting real loud in the comms.
I don't think they've ever felt better.
No, SRN is in the zone right now. And honestly, for MIBR, this is a team that is peaking at the right moment. It hasn't just been domination domestically.
And what happened last year? Team Liquid Brazil peaked at the right moment. They built into that tournament. They got better every match. And then they 2-0 G2 to make a final.
1 down.
Different team, but the vibe feels the same.
Last player standing.
On pace for a flawless anti-eco. No one even got shot.
They got shot at, maybe, but just warning shots, truly. Pretty quiet in the G2 camp right now.
They need to dig deep. Crowd will help to bring that energy back.
That's for sure. You can feel those vibrations through the headset, that's for sure. But G2 goes in. They're gonna hit the pause button themselves. Like you were saying, trying to figure out this round. There's some big ultimates heading into this one. Petra's got the Nightfall, showstopper for SRN. And I think this gives us a little bit of a chance to talk about Vanya's Omen, because this is a pocket pick for her, right? Like Vanya, one of the best players in the world, absolutely lights out as a fragger. And the Omen gives her that extra level of sort of self-sufficiency where she can take that fight, TP out. You also saw a lot, you know, Potter and EG, they did a lot of these Omen shenanigans in VCT where you can throw one-ways on the TP so you can never get crunched on when you're trying to attack in. That can be good. Teleporting into side as a second dive agent too.
Yeah.
Throwing smokes that you can jump into on top triple or, you know, onto top site B.
Even doubling up the TPs. You can have really disruptive ideas. Get out backside, get out heaven. Changes how you normally play against an attacker on this map.
The thing that's hard is because it's flanked by a Viper instead of another smoke, you know, circle smoke agent like a Brimstone something. You can't really get away with throwing those anti-crunch smokes because then you only have 1 smoke for the side exec, and already, especially on A hits, you're kind of wanting for more than just the 2.
G2, despite running this breach comp thus far, have struggled to get the early control on the extremities. They'll try to this round.
Off the Prowler, maybe looking for a stun. It's not the fast double satchel play.
MIBR thus far have shown a good awareness of these trap plays, have stayed out of that stun. This one could get a bit riskier. Prowler, this is out.
That's good calling, though. It's important not to stay posted on the forward lines and instead look for the reclears.
Fade ult, they follow it up with a breach stun. Is Rescue gonna go deep?
Yes, she
She
is.
wants to. Melissa holding, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. SRN, the rocket arrives and connects as well. Sayori, IGL versus IGL down short. Mimi shows a barrel, but she spins to get the kill.
So now it becomes Jubes' turn, spamming through triple right now, but the wide swing from Petra shuts her down. Jelly can't make it happen. It's a 3K for Mimi.
And G2 off the timeout, come alive on map 2. And now this is something they can roll with, something they can work with. A Rolling Thunder earned for Mimi.
Start stacking those ults on through. Win this round, you have a showstopper in the next. Really, this one came down to strong team fighting, right? Good tracking from Mimi, very aware of U-Haul, because she was really the only player with eyes on U-Haul. But she kept getting those fights. I can only guess what she's saying there. But finally, G2 starting to wake up into this bind.
SRN is alone.
Has that ever stopped them?
No.
Never.
No. They're so confident. Maybe even a little
Look at them.
cocky. I mean, just dancing around. She'll escape, and the util finally gets about it, but the nade from beyond the grave. Escape artists on both sides.
Lands the fadeaway. Absolutely beautiful, but check out Showers because Rescue has stayed there, and I think the rest of the team is going to start rotating over into this B site to put down pressure. You often expect Raze to be sticking around with the team, but G2, even on the last map, left Rescue on her lonesome multiple times.
Oh, MIBR. 3 walking down short.
Do they get a flank themselves off?
Or does Rescue cut this off?
It's all a timing game right now. So many different possibilities.
There's a known quantity. G2 should get B. But what does Rescue get on the other side? They're looking at her, and she misses the timing. Bring them down.
Now G2 forced to go into this B site.
30 seconds
Good from
left.
Jubes to fall away here. MIBR have the numbers advantage. They can work back into this site slowly, but it's not so simple. There's no Dizzy for Jelly, just a hunt to get back onto the site, and G2 have nice positions in the post.
G2's a player down, but they do have the Rolling Thunder for Mimi.
Oh yeah.
They've heard players teleporting through nose. There's a force coming in from Hookah.
Look at this paranoia too. That's gonna hit 2-3 players.
Shadows traveling.
Melissa has wrapped all the way around long. Now, there's another weird timing game late in this round. Jelly flashes out from Hookah, dies instantly from Petra, and there's that Rolling Thunder. Mimi, it's her last act in this round, 2 versus 2. A teleport. Vanya moving all over the map, crosses Sayori up, and wins the round for G2.
Vanya's Omen is a thing of beauty. Moving around on the site like that, I mean, look, Sayuri had some good tracking, was aware of what was going down. But at the end of the day, the util combo of those TPs, Petra's Haunt flying in as well. G2 stay alive there. Ooh, the tracking through the wall there is nice. Vanya too, throwing in the jump peek to spot the player jumping out of Hookah there.
A lot of the players G2 needs. Petra, Vanya had a rough map one, but they're stepping up here on Bind. And, well, Rescue, maybe a little off on the satchels, eats up a lot of damage from that Molly, and is now separated from her team. We'll use the rocket to a little bit of safety. She get a kill. Close corner, doesn't connect.
Down to 13 HP.
Spammed by Melissa.
What a botched opener from G2. The satchels sent Rescue into the wall.
And then she walks into the Molly.
Yeah, their own Viper Molly is sort of stopping the play from excelling.
Amy's gonna get, or at least I thought she would, no.
Vanya up into heaven. She's sticking it through. Posted up here, but trying to get down smokes for her team. She's getting pushed. SRN's through the smoke, shutting her down.
You have to look at SRN. Now here comes the retake. Mimi gets the plant down, but Amy's smoked off. It's the old duo for G2. who are struggling to find a fight here. It's awkward going both ways, but MIBR finally double swing in. Maybe has to do this alone. Her duo's dead, but she's stunned. And MIBR tap the spike. Amy down short. That's a good start.
No fuel.
But
Not
needs the
enough
1v2.
fuel. Not enough fuel.
Dubes swings out. Damage onto Amy and finishes her off too.
That's a way to fight back for MIBR. They figured out that Showers play, fell out of there. And then again, like, I don't know, this team just keeps getting kills through smokes.
Just keep spamming. 99% of spammers stop just before they get a kill.
Keep going, keep going. And look, for Melissa and for Sayuri, they just keep on hitting.
We talked about the ults building for G2. Now that's the case for the other side.
Yeah, the ults did not work for G2. Now they're in a drought. And they're in a drought without a lot of rounds to show for themselves.
Not just the ults, the money too, in a very bad spot. Rescue does have a judge. Maybe a chance for something silly. Saren.
Wow.
Okay. Judge gets nothing.
Right between the eyes.
Sayuri is just gonna deal with this alone, seemingly no help needed. Mimi dead too. That's 4 for the IGL.
Yeah, I think she ulted last round. The one before, already 2 off.
Yeah, no big deal.
As easy as that. And of course, G2, now they're gonna have the guns coming to this next one, but it feels like the solution for G2, after playing a lot of these slow rounds where they got punished with walk-ups from a player like SRN, they've started to run these faster pieces. You know, double satcheling into Showers. That time, it's an eco granted, but going for the judge into lamps. The breach gives them a lot of quick fighting options, but the way MIBR have just sort of swatted them down like flies, it makes me consider whether or not G2 should start slowing down again.
Stun set up to take Hookah.
Yeah. Top site smoke you can see as well. Sent from Vanya over onto the B site. That stops that little pixel angle clear. Also threatens that, hey, if the whole team is scaled up behind that Viper wall, we could be Omen TPing in, double satcheling.
Yep.
That pop play could come out of nowhere, especially when MIBR are sort of forced behind their Viper wall when they have no info on this side.
But as you mentioned, they're only playing one agent with the ball smokes. They don't have a Brimstone, they don't have an Astra, no one else to provide the smokes for an execute.
Yeah.
Which means they have to wait for that to recharge.
B side, it's a little bit less punishing. That smoke ends up coming in over on Elbow, and look at Rescue, just ready for all those angles, not quite ready for the lat.
SRN gets a kill after she's dead.
What?
2 rounds! And Melissa's just camping the TP.
I have the spike.
If anyone's gonna get back in this round, it's Amy. She made it down short. MIBR, I mean, Sayuri is ready. She knows it's a possibility, and she gets the kill.
MIBR
30 seconds
seemingly know everything.
Yeah, it's just excellent game sense. She knew that G2 wanted to go into the teleporter. That tells them, hey, very likely, we had no one watching short for a long time, could be there, and yeah, look. Sayuri just keeps getting the job done.
It's now 7-2, MIBR.
Unreal. The problem is, like, look, I said I wanted G2 to play slower. That's all fine and good, but the problem is, when they play slower, MIBR are constantly poking forward in these lanes, especially outside Showers. Melissa had prowlered through earlier, saw no one, so she was like, yeah, of course I can wait outside the teleporter. Go stack B, I got this.
Not a problem for her. Melissa, looks like she might get tested again here. Same stun satchel play goes a lot better this time.
Yeah, it was too high on the entrance last time around. This one looks good.
Connected did. I don't think Melissa has any recourse here.
G2 might just be looking to end up using a Viper's Pit from Showers out onto site to get a plant down.
Do you think it's worth investing on an eco?
Possibly. I don't mind it, honestly. Bringing
You're already
the
down
fights down lower.
7-2.
Yeah.
Need any round you can get.
I think they could use it as a fake, honestly, if they wanted to. Usually you'd go much slower after putting that one down.
Similar to some rounds we saw last map. G2 early start towards one side, leave 3 there, send 2 on the other side to fake.
And hey, it's worked, right? 2 rotates going over into the B site.
One of the many Mel's has stuck around.
Nice.
And she's policing her site well. Already picks up 2. Hey guys, they're hitting A. And help has arrived. There's SRN with a nade, and yeah, G2's plan goes completely awry.
Yeah, Paranoia gives them a chance maybe, but not really. Melissa just keeps landing these shots. Come on.
Looks like she's like doing an aim lapse routine, just swinging out from the same angle 4 different times, 4 different kills.
Yeah, world record hold on the showers to triple angle.
2 rounds left in the half for G2 goes in. I think they need them both if they want a fighting chance.
It's just a weird situation to be in, because all things considered, I don't even think G2 were expecting to win this map coming in. Ascent's been their permaban, so they thought they had to stick with that. We're expecting to already have the advantage, though. What can they get with these ults?
G2. Take Kuka control. Oh, that's a rocket! MIBR is aggressing forward. SRN not slowing down. She's blind, still gets a kill, and is alive yet. Not any longer, though. Okay, it's just 1 for 1.
And I was gonna say, it's just Melissa on A.
Just Melissa has been a problem before.
Exactly. Ooh. Saw a leg coming out on the high angle, and he's looking for a bit of chip damage. That's an ultimate eaten up from the G2 camp. She's landing these spam shots. Vanya's down to 14.
Look at the delay utility as well.
And what it means is the smokes are already going down before the spike's even planted.
Sayori has a Brimble.
Get out of U-Haul.
The Viper's pit. Surely Sayori pops this ult.
You gotta get out of there, G2.
She waits. When does she commit the ult? Now it comes in. There's 3 players inside. But there's a gap. Found. The Viper's pit stays up. Zoobs runs down Petra. Now 4v3. All of the players from G2 have made home of this pit. But MIBR will look to evict them on this retake. Mimi getting wrapped by Jubes, who's already made noise, but it's a spam again. MIBR, they never miss through a smoke. The IGL guns down 3.
Ridiculous.
I don't think she saw any of those players.
She's got the heat sensing goggles on or something. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's working out.
And remember, this is how that round started.
It's so good too, because MIBR are just waiting for the breach stun to be used and then fast re-clearing, punishing G2 when they step up. Is that normal?
No, I don't think so. Don't think so.
On the normally scale, I think that rate's pretty unnormal.
Pretty not.
Yeah.
Lucky for G2, they've lost 5 rounds in a row, which means max loss bonus.
That's a lucky thing? Okay.
At least you have something for the 12th round.
The glass is really half full with you. Jelly Bangs is hopping, by the way.
Gecko?
That's a headshot.
Something cosplay? Could have just stuck with the Vandal. Could have done the same thing.
Just a bit silly. I mean, we're throwing down some wild smokes to make something out of nothing in
They're
this round.
fighting back into this one again. Stun is good. SRN! A double! And Petra? Okay.
By the way, the spike's in the teleporter. Body went on through with that.
Hello, Sayori. She's got that one. They don't know the spike is there. I have the spike. But they hear the teleport, and Sayori has the execution ready to go for Petra. She's escaped the noose. Onto the site now. A 1v2.
If anyone's gonna do it, it's the veteran for G2.
Been playing with this team since the beginning. A chance to give them a light at the end of this half. That's a hell of a start. Plant coming down. Sayori, Amali. Just nearly misses out on Petra. Sayori swings in and puts Petra down.
Sayuri has been playing out of her freaking mind, people. This map is an absolute masterclass from the IGL. 10 rounds to 2. Sayuri topping the leaderboard, by the way.
It's just unreasonable. I mean,
she is 17 kills to 4 deaths currently.
And they still have another player ahead of that. It's unreal what MIBR is doing right now. Up 10-2 at the half on their map choice of Bind. Before the halftime, another little treat. Mika Fabs is standing by with 2 Valorant legends in the audience. Let's take a listen.
Hey guys, we have some bros in the house of Gozen right now. We have G2's Valen and Leaf with me. How's the event been for you guys so far?
I would say it's been really fun being here in the crowd as well. Like hearing the noise and cheering on for the Gozen girls has been phenomenal. A bit rough start, but I'm confident they can come back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to a reverse sweep, hopefully. I mean, it all starts with this second half. I mean, they have to win the pistol, but, you know, the first map, it was very close. I think the crowd's energy was super, super good, too. So it's been fun.
I think this whole series is going to be really, really close. But Valen, you've played with Vanya and Mimi before. What did you learn about from those players?
Well, I know Vanya is one of the best shooters in EMEA, like flat out. She has the best mechanics I've seen in a long time, honestly, practicing with her. And for Mimi, she has really good calls, and she kind of opened up my eyes on new ways to find kills within the map. So they're both phenomenal, and no doubt they're one of the best GC players in the world.
Definitely, definitely. And Leaf, you are playing with Amy and Mimi really soon, right? What are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, in that tournament, I think I'll probably be playing Duelist, so it'll be kind of funny to go back to Duelist in that tournament, but I think it'll be fun. Hopefully I learned some new Sentinel stuff from Amy, and then also just different cultures. Like, it's fun to play with new people, in my opinion, and you know, hopefully it's fun.
Yeah, and definitely right now it's a bit of a deficit, but you're feeling confident that they can come back from this, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this map 2 looks a bit difficult, but it's never over till it's over. And they have a strong map pool, so the next 3 maps going into Sunset map 3, I'm confident they can win that as well.
What about you, Leaf?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I feel like Sunset definitely is theirs.
Oh, okay. So these guys are feeling very, very confident in the House of Gozen, so let's get back into the game.
Thanks very much, Mika. Always good to hear from the G2 boys, and I'm super excited to watch that Spotlight series. It was already cool in NA or in EU, now coming to NA. We could even get this match again, MIBR versus G2, with some players from VCT Americas thrown in as well.
Whole lot of fun. The G2 squad, so stacked. They won over in EMEA. Gonna have another chance, the only team coming back with that experience on the stage. But we have a much bigger game ahead right now. Of course, MIBR dominating in the first half. That is expected. Let's see what the benefits of this G2 comp can be on defense.
Rescue confident, but she's just swinging into too many players. The Duelist gone. Mimi, maybe soon to follow, is getting ran down by utility, but does well to find 2. The Wingman's planting, but she has more pressing issues.
Look at Vanya inside of the smoke, coming out of that one. Finds the first. G2 now with a numbers advantage, but really Vanya has to stall this out for her teammates to come in.
Jubes. Just outside in U-Haul. A double swing available for MIBR. This could get very dangerous for G2. There's the swing. 2 taps for Jubes. All she needs, but Petra has to of her own.
Petra couldn't quite close it out in the final round of the first half, but this time the pistol starts it off properly. Even in a tough game, the crowd has had G2's back throughout it all.
Let this be a lesson for everyone. Take the 2.
What was the lesson? I didn't quite get that one.
Professor?
Yeah. Show at least the Patreon later, I think.
Okay.
Get the full G2 Gozen strat book.
I think the first time G2 has been able to feel a little more comfortable here on
Sure. First time they've had money, I think.
Always cool.
Yeah, I mean, some nice things you can do with the Omen. The one-way smoke over into showers. Interesting, the Vanya's not actually playing on that line. So going a bit more passive. For MIBR, this is now 2 rounds in a row. They've been showing a lot of early showers play. Really trying to condition that in G2's mind.
SQ 3 and 13. Love some eco frags. Get the confidence back, pad up the stats. She was doing so well on Abyss.
He was owning up until the jump peak incident. SRN sat her down, and since then, no contest.
She stayed seated. Okay. Guess the spam through the smoke goes both ways.
G2 kind of bounced back here into U-Haul. Surprising that MIBR actually have a chance to plant the spike, but as they close in into this space, Mimi and Vanya gonna make quick work of them.
Sayori already spotted. A nice wide swing for Mimi to clean things up.
Crowd's been awesome today.
Yeah.
This is the big question round, though, for G2. Are they going to buy up? Do you take a true bonus here? Or they have the option to get 2, maybe even 3 rifles alongside that Outlaw. Winning this round, of course, springboard them massively, but...
We can do it.
Looks like the call from them is to actually take the true bonus. Right now, Mimi's actually just playing all the way in spawn, ready to quickly rotate onto whichever side of the map finds first contact.
MIBR is feeling good right now, but G2 is no stranger to a comeback. We're 5 rounds in a row, 1 against Visa Crew to close out that series.
Yeah, Mimi started to cheat over towards B. Might even see similar moves from Vanya right now. Does G2 actually double up in Hookah? I wonder if they're going to go for a late re-clear of this sand space. If they got
In
that info, it would be big.
Melissa.
It's just
Needs
rescue
to
with the
be
Sheriff.
thorough here, needs to clear this close right corner.
Oh my god.
Surely she clears it, surely she checks! She hasn't! That's a gun for rescue!
What a way to start it off for G2. Now MIBR, they're leaning over into B, into this double stack. Mimi has a stun, Mimi has flashes to support, and MIBR on the entrance can only do 1 for 1.
Can they even continue this? 30 seconds!
It's tough.
They have no space on A, no info there.
30 seconds left.
Okay, the Molly should give them control.
Spam nearly finds Amy. She eludes it for now, and there's that utility from Mimi coming
It's
in.
going to be a TP crunch on the other side. Amy is holding her ground on site, but the rest of G2 are pinching in. MIBR have 15 seconds to plant the spike, but there's players all around them swarming into the site. G2 convert the bonus.
They're back! Map 2! What a round for G2 goes in. And it all goes back to the mistake from Melissa. Doesn't clear her corner and shower, gives away a gun, and then her team runs out of time and gets crunched.
This hold in Hookah was so good as well, right? Whether it's Amy on the Viper, she's been playing the Cypher before, but now with the Orb, with the Molly, with a Breach stun too that Mimi's sending in there. The changes in the composition showing up in a big way that round to keep MIBR out of the site.
MIBR on an eco round now. The biggest goal here, get Jelly the Thrash for next round.
Yeah, next
Two
round's
off
gonna
right
be
now.
explosive. So yeah, Jelly's 2 off. Petra and Mimi are close as well. If round 15 was the most important round of the game, round 17 is gonna be the second most.
That's the thing about comebacks. Every rifle round is a turning point. Is there a re-clear brewing?
Mimi has a stun, here it comes, Satchel in, 1 single stun, 1 single Satchel, and that's 2 kills.
And it's a spike as well. Delivered on a platter. Jelly will stay 1 away from that ult.
We really didn't know what to expect with G2 deciding to leave Bind open. It has been a black hole of a map for this team this year.
30 seconds left.
For a team that has won every event in EMEA.
Player standing.
They've just had to go on avoiding it.
They'll take a flawless round. I mean, even that long re-clear with Mimi's stun looked pretty nice.
Coach Marlau for MIBR, not too happy. For the first time in a while, MIBR is on the back foot, and they'll take a timeout.
1 enemy remaining.
Trying to think of what's been going wrong for MIBR. Because really, again, they've only played the 1 rifle round. So instead, maybe some kind of a read against G2. I think one thing they might realize is Mimi's stuns have just suspiciously always been on the right side of the map. She's been leaning in off of early pressure from MIBR, early information given away.
Yeah, our defensive positioning has been so good this map. It's pretty rare you see the breach played here, and I imagine that might also be a factor of discussion.
Yeah.
Those trap plays, I think, are even more dangerous than the standard comp that MIBR is playing.
Yeah, the breach lines on defense can be really annoying to deal with because every sort of pathway into a site is straight up vertical, you know? So Mimi can just line up along those lines, stun absolutely everyone. So it means you're forced to have people playing not just anti-flash with their faces in a wall, but anti-stun, playing outside of those common lines to be able to swing in and trade out your teammates.
Remember last map though, I think MIBR's biggest strength was drawing out the trap plays early on the attack side, going into these late executes. They have to replicate that here.
And remember the first 2 rounds, first 3 rounds even, it was all about showers control for MIBR. They got punished in the 3rd round because they didn't actually stick through into that space. It was just that late walk-in from Melissa. This time I think G2 may be reading that it's going to be moving back into that showers control.
They're absolutely right.
Stun is ready.
Rescue on a fairly passive angle.
Yeah, but that means that MIBR are going to be baited in, and 3 players are going to get stunned off of Rescue's contact. A satchel to follow? That might be 3 kills.
But Rescue has to deliver. Stun in. Here's the satchel.
Stun
Stunned! They've bottled it!
Disaster. Disaster. It's a new comp for G2, and Rescue gets in front of the stun.
Just too early. Tubes in short. G2's last hope on this re-clear is wiped away.
This was the round to solidify the comeback, and now it's the one to solidify the map for MIBR.
2v5. Amy and Petra. That's
Okay.
a good start for Amy. Maybe looking for another lights-out performance. But the util from MIBR, it's a Molly, a nade, and SRN delivering.
How many nade kills is SRN getting?
2 after death, 1 there. I think like 4, 5, maybe 4.
And it's been good supportive utility as well. You know, whether it's a Seize or a Mosh or a Viper Molly.
When we were watching MIBR play in Brazil, I think their biggest strength was their team fighting together. When they play these flash-heavy comps where they can just dump utility, play off each other, that kind of innate coordination between the players is at a crazy high level. And I think Bind is where they get to show that the most.
Yeah. Yeah, you see it so much, right? Every agent in their comp has some sort of fighting piece of utility. You'll see them combo it all the time. You'll see, you know, all these different awkward angles you have to hold. MIBR are very often aware of those. It actually feels like a thing that, I mean, maybe the players are just like fully aware of it, but maybe something they study too, because you saw back on Abyss, they were so aware of all these different off angles, little pixel angles they could own you on. You see similar things with their readiness, preparedness over the site fights.
This is an honest last chance for G2 here.
That it is.
They do have the Raze Rocket, and combined with the Breach, you can set up a lot of trap plays, some aggro ideas early on. I think MIBR's goal this round has to be diffusing that ultimate.
Yeah, cat and mouse, right? You just want to dodge away from anything you can. Hope that you can make one of those ults fail again. Last time we saw Rescue with the ult was not able to convert it into a round win, or even into a kill.
That dangerous duo from G2 goes in. Zombie long.
Melissa's never going to make the same mistake again. Vanya actually TP'd into the corner. Got prowled out, TP'd back out. So no more playmaking really from Vanya.
Amy walks up into short. Here's the rocket. Where's the stun? Incoming now. But it's a rocket from both sides. And the raise from MIBR's above.
SRN wins it out. And the rest of MIBR is fighting forward. Mimi, the sole player over on this B site, will call in the support of Petra on the teleport. MIBR now realize B site is strong, A site is weak, with Lurks walking up and the teleport's coming through. It's all on Vanya.
Already revealed, and a double swing.
So good, so good. The utility, it's there. They're never gonna follow the same trick twice.
Nope, too thorough. Can G2 even go for this? It's a 2v4.
Do you let them go to 12 uncontested? They've
so
got some money. They're gonna go for this.
Okay, 1 off the ult for both these players from G2 goes in. That's the win condition. The duo. They've been playing together for 4 years, and they have to deliver in this round. But MIBR already knows everything, and they're just gonna get overwhelmed by the utility, as they have many around before. Okay, Mimi doubles them up. Melissa's dead too. 1v1, but the knife's out. And the other IGL delivers instead.
Anytime you think G2 have pulled off some heroic play, anytime you think they're gonna win a round, Sayuri says hell no. I mean, look at this opener. It's just beautiful. SRN jumping above ResQ, winning out on the fight. MIBR baited out that play perfectly. And then even when Mimi does the absolute most ridiculous thing possible, Sayuri's there with steady hands to win it through.
When MIBR built this roster, Sayuri was the first piece, the one who collected all of these stars around her and dethroned Team Liquid Brazil.
First time seeing a new rep here on the international stage from Brazil, and they're looking damn good.
Vanya escaped 2 ultimates with that teleport, but ResQ, oh my, almost lost her life. And now she...
ResQ!
Wow, and she got it 4! No ace today! Sayuri again! The IGL
Got the spike.
in a 1v3.
She's got time.
G2 cannot squander this round. ResQ already did so much.
Sayuri's got so many options. Does she re-walk down A short, look for a pick? She could hit a TP afterwards, but she has to find that first one.
And G2 have a strong setup.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, they're giving everything in the front of the site, holding on the backside.
Sayuri uses the smokes. Commits a plant, but Mimi has the stun. Vanya should swing out, and this round should be over.
Nicely done.
It is.
How about ResQ, huh?
I mean, that came out of nowhere.
A 4-piece over on A short. She needed a round like that. Like, let's be honest. SRN has been putting on a masterclass. But after a round like that,
Even after that round, SRN literally has double her kills.
yeah. It's been kind of insane. Oh wow, MIBR actually choosing to go for the eco here. You see absurd amounts of ults on the opposite side.
I think it's the right play, though.
I
Don't
agree.
take risks when you're already at 12. You have 5 chances to close.
The important thing for G2 is how they can stagger their ults. Just the pit so far, but look at SRN going! G2 just aren't ready for it. Petra will equalize, but the rest of MIBR are just zipping on in.
Spike down A.
Amy's gonna shut them down for now. It looked a bit suspect for a moment, but G2 take care of business.
All good.
And just 1 ultimate spent. That's exactly what they needed.
Now they can ration those ults. They'll have something for almost every round for the rest of this half if they use it right. But on Petra there, backs away, doesn't get caught off guard by the flying rays.
What's happening?
My question too.
I think so much, if G2 are gonna make this happen, it's Mimi. I'm not even talking about how she's shooting. I'm talking about how she calls around these refights they've gone for. MIBR have started being able to dodge those out. I think more patience might actually be necessary for Mimi to make sure they're catching MIBR.
Oh, Petra, where did that kill come from? I think you just spammed the lurker.
That was spam. Off of the Viper Orb going up, or off the wall going up.
The dynamic duo split up this round. ResQ without Mimi. Scene. But look at Vanya. Okay, that was bold. No one really to help. I think Mimi on site, but she's not traded. It's even again.
ResQ wants the fight, and she finds it. G2 had to get active, but this map is crazy right now. We're stepping up into A short, but there's Showers presence. There's still a spike needing to be recovered, and they're coming straight into it.
They hear this. G2 is ready, and MIBR is not. SRN, though. A bit of space, a bit of time. Uses the nade to create some separation. Look at Sayuri. Does this become a flank now?
Oh my god. And ResQ's looking at Showers. They don't think this is possible. No one's prepared for this. And Sayuri's gonna pounce. Needs the second kill. Absolutely has to find it! And she does!
ResQ catches Sayuri off guard. SRN, 1v2, she heads to B.
Pump fakes everywhere, but Mimi's already here.
Rolling Thunder, Aftershock, an ult for SRN in the air! Mimi finds her, and G2 survive again.
G2 stay alive, but at what cost, Mimi? A Breach ult and the Raze ult used in that 2 versus 1 to guarantee it.
But a win's a win. And MIBR again on an eco round. I wonder if that questioning is around the breach ult usage there. Doesn't matter now, though.
Very true. MIBR, the dangerous thing about them is they just need one good round from SRN. Worthless. Not gonna be this one. Mimi's been sitting up in that spot for the last couple of rounds. Finally finds a head coming on in.
Every year when G2 build up their roster, come out with these new players, we're always talking about the young stars, what mark they can make. But every time, Mimi and Petra are still the ones delivering in these big moments.
Especially when you're on the big stage, when you're in a best of 5.
There's no player in the GC scene in Valorant with more LAN experience than Mimi and Petra.
One of the OG duos.
But here's one of the young guns, Amy in the corner. It's an anti-eco, it's her chance to farm, but it's already going oh so wrong! Not for Amy! That's 3 kills. And that's Melissa. No chance to win this round.
Yeah, if Amy drops there, that might have just been the map.
I mean, she dies, that's 2 guns picked up, that's a post plant for MIBR.
She was having to do everything on her own there. Oh yeah. Don't show Mimi a shoulder. He's not gonna let you get away with that. Oh, the cross-map stun support for Mimi too. I missed that initially, but she is literally mid-rotation, stunning up 3 players coming on out of that one.
It's so sick what you can do with Breach on this map.
Yeah. It's a weird one, because the flash, so weak, in my opinion, but the stun, crazy good if you're hitting it on the right timings. And so far in the second half, Mimi has been hitting the right stuns.
So a timeout here for MIBR.
MIBR have a lot to play with.
I think the priority this round for G2 has to be denying SRN the orb. She's one off the showstopper. But that's also what MIBR will probably expect.
Yeah, that's
Ready
very
to
true.
get to those mind games late in a game.
Honestly, I want to see MIBR. The problem is they haven't really gotten into a comfortable post plant yet because they've been getting killed before the site hit really comes online. I think when they're able to get active in a post plant, they're crushing, right? They've got a good comp for that. They can catch G2 with a lot of utility in their hands. But so far, whether it's a paranoia or a stun, the stall from G2 has been absurdly effective.
MIBR open B long.
Oh, wow. With a single satchel as well to stop the early swing on through, sending so much utility to force Vanya off that angle. And they get some concessions, right? Mimi loses the flash. But really, MIBR just want to enable SRN to find something. The spike still left in spawn.
A little risky there.
Yeah, they're having SRN pick up that orb while the rest of the team is further away to see if maybe there could be a step up somewhere else on the map. Because SRN wouldn't be crazy enough to get that orb on her own, right?
Surely not. MIBR now groups up B.
Yeah, they're going to go heavy and through long to leave the option of a late teleport in. And really the question is, will ResQ stay in showers and shut down that TP play?
There's a 1v1 in hookah. Mimi needs to stay alive. Her util is critical to this round.
Look at the util.
Another nade kill!
Are you kidding?
Vanya's dead. And now Mimi dies too! That's a sight loss!
Shut up.
She hasn't seen any of these players!
SRN just keeps getting it done. And now G2, they're separated. ResQ solo up into hookah, looking for someone, but she's got no one left on her side.
MIBR with only 1 player left to deal with ResQ. Okay, that's 2. 3 for ResQ! Needs to save this game alone. But down to 30 health, a crossfire for MIBR, and they put an end to it. 13-10, MIBR take their home map, and they're up 2-0 in this best of 5.
They are just 1 map win away from another Brazil NA final.
It's unbelievable. G2 goes in, They would need a reverse sweep to recover. If not, Brazil's heading to the final.
Red Bull gives you wings. The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
You want to work in esports.
Great. Step 1, never spell it like that. Better.
Step 2, apply to the MasterCard Gamer Academy, a program created in partnership with G2 designed to give you all the tools and resources needed to help you start a career in esports.
This is an education in everything, from creating content to managing a team.
All from experts who will explain every aspect of running a top-tier org, prepping for a broadcast, or designing global esports events for millions of fans.
Selected participants will have access to live lectures and insights you won't find anywhere else.
And even the opportunity to travel to the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational and Valorant Champions.
So they're flying them out to champs?
Yep.
Thank you, MasterCard.
So if you've ever dreamed of a life working in esports, this could be your opportunity to apply for an unforgettable experience.
Can anyone apply?
No, you can't apply.
Okay, you know already it's Tai Chi. Tell 'em, captain capability. You pray for head and I pray on you. Can't tell my control is blue. Ain't safe in my Jimmy Choo. New boo, you ain't used to. New shoes, where you going, babe? Be here and I won't behave. Get here and I won't be. Make you say, oh, is that okay? 69 took my 808s. Time to shine, get down and rewind. Kick back, relax and recline. All black on my fish bones. All tied up when I stay home. I like yayo with my afros. Pack that pussy like cane roll. Okay. You know you made this fit in. Somehow it feels so real. You know you do it to me. You know you made this fit in. You know it gets so real. You know you made me wonder. Yo, tell 'em. Impossibility make you lay down for stability. I birthed the game, my fertility is up there, match my agility. No B, call me no below T. Go ring for my mobility. Drop down, pop round my PYT. Big screw face make you feel petite. I bend and like when the icing is piping. On site, sniping.
Oi, meu nome é Juliana, meu nick é Jubes e eu sou da equipe MIBR, né, do Brasil. O sentimento depois de jogar contra a Zipto, eu acho que é um sentimento de tranquilidade, eu acho que a gente conseguiu jogar o nosso jogo, né, a gente não tá no nível que a gente quer ainda falta um pouco, mas a gente colocou uma meta da gente melhorar a cada jogo, então eu acho que a gente conseguiu melhorar os 10%, né.
Guardian remaining, and then the Vandal as well, but Zipto... Oh, okay. Christ, SRN is something else!
No.
Just eviscerates 3! Wait! Whoa. Okay, Alexi ain't letting that happen. SRN not gonna be able to bull either side, but now down so low, surely dead!
Perder contra a G2 foi muito importante pra gente ver com algumas coisas, alguns defeitos, algumas coisas pra consertar. E eu acho que agora a gente pode realmente começar a jogar o nosso jogo. A gente já começou, né, no caso. A gente teve um pouco de choque de realidade, eu acho. A gente realmente acordou, muito tranquila e muito relaxada e muito confiante também. O próximo jogo vai ser, sim, uma oportunidade da gente se vingar.
That was the Omen player moment from MIBR. Welcome back to the desk. I'm Victoria, together with Kukuka, and we also have special guests from Zipto. We have Ineri and Alexi. Omen player moment had some moments featuring you guys as well, and we got to see a bit of Bind. I know
We're
this
so
is
sorry. We're sorry that you had to see it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any quick feelings? You guys are okay? Recovered?
We're having flashbacks because there was a lot of things that MIBR did that they did to us yesterday, like the B-long push and the shower
garden
stake.
In fact, on that, let's reflect on the map we saw just now. Let's move on to our Verizon high-speed moment of the match. And Sayuri is definitely the lady of the hour.
Yeah, I think that throughout this entire map, the casters were doing a brilliant job highlighting the work the Sayuri was doing, especially on the defense. A 10-2 half for the roster of MIBR. Yes, we expected the attack to be quote-unquote comfortable, but what Sayuri was doing from the Brimstone, and especially from this position, was on a different level.
What did you guys make of Sayuri's performance on this map?
We have a fragging IGL, so she's the best, you know?
She's
insane.
So clutch.
Yeah, these moments by Sayuri, I mean, this is a little bit different than yesterday's Bind. I think there were, like you said, there were some repeats here, but I think with Sayuri really stepping up to kind of give it a different flavor. Yeah, she had, I think, 100% clutch rate.
I mean, she was only on a couple of them, but we can say, you know, with a head high, that she was in the 2 clutches that she won, and definitely for a map, that ended up being so close. Those moments are the determinant ones. We know that those clutch moments are bound to happen for G2 as well. I think that we see it constantly. But then on Bind, changing the composition from the side of G2, I think that they have been doing throughout the entire tournament. In fact, they've changed composition in most of the maps. I think that this could be the 5th or the 6th. They've only kept the same thing onto Haven, and probably it's because they're spotting their own flaws and they're seeing weaknesses, and probably this is like an easy fix. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, actually, you had some comments about the agent comp change. What?
I was surprised that they changed their comp on Bind, but I think for me personally, I think they just need to fix like the habits on like the behavior of like the team, you know. But I lost. I cannot say anything. But yeah.
You can now. You guys are now you're guests. Now you can relax and just analyze the game
Alexi,
based on
you were in the debate club. You know how to debate. You know that saying I lost is not enough. You have better arguments for that.
Yeah.
So what do you make of the comp change just now? And it looks like they're keeping the comp for Sunset, but do you agree with that, Ineri?
I didn't really like the G2's bridge comp, but I think towards the end we see a lot of creative like stunts. Like the stunts was like really impactful and it brought G2 back into the game. So I think the comp change was really, it was a huge gamble, but it kind of turned out almost good for G2. So I kind of agree with the comp change actually.
Okay, well, we are looking at Sunset now. This is a map you ladies are very familiar with as well. What are you making of this, especially between G2 Gozen and MIBR?
I really like G2's comp with the Neon and Fade and Breach. But SRN on Raze is it's just different. So I feel like MIBR will take this map for me, I think.
All right, well, we definitely want to keep you ladies here on the desk with us, but we do need to go into this third map of today. Is this going to go the distance? Are we going to get a full series? That is the question that remains in all of our minds as we toss it over to Ender and Mimi.
Well, the last time G2 goes in, took to this stage in a best out of 5. They pulled off the reverse sweep. They beat Shopify Rebellion. They won the first GCC title. And if they want a chance to win again, they need another reverse sweep.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. But the present, MIBR are the victors of 2 incredible maps, crushing back on Bind. But now we go into very different territory. A map G2 are much stronger on. Already, we know G2 like to play faster pace early on the defensive side. Getting active up into A while MIBR take control over mid.
Being responsible for spotting towards mid. She's stunned. Lucky for her, no Neon on the other side, so she'll escape with her life just barely. Nade towards spawn. That's a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, crazy fight into mid with Melissa waiting for that aggro. This trade's 1-for-1, but G2 have to like their chances. They have control over backside. They're using that smoke to beat posted forward.
But MIBR want to fight backside. Amy, eviscerated. And Petra can't swing back through. So MIBR regain control of this round.
Yeah, G2, that smoke just stuffed him out of the round. Now they have to refocus their efforts on market. They found this timing to creep up.
Only Jubes is watching. SRN turns and maybe they don't even need anymore. Jubes for 1. Swings in for another. The stun from Sayuri is perfection. And it's another pistol round for MIBR.
Near perfect as well. Jelly was the only person that took damage, I believe. This is that fight in mid where actually Rescue was able to get the timing and snipe that first player into market. But MIBR are going to be aware of some of G2's tendencies when it comes to this Neon looking for refights, sort of like flanking you as you're running into that market on a B split. So really good that Melissa was waiting and ready.
It's such a well-called round. And so big for MIBR. The 2 other teams left in this tournament are both former champions. They've won a GCC before. But MIBR, all 5 of their players, this is their first ever appearance at an event outside Brazil.
Oh my word!
They're delivering, okay, Jubes.
Yeah. By the way, everyone else on MIBR, Vandals in round 2. Jubes, Ghost, no problem, 3 kills.
Yeah, MIBR haven't been FPX buying, but they pull it out this round then.
It's a next level FPX by 2.
Yeah, normally it's what, 2 rifles?
There's the 3 rifles is the common one. Of course, that gives them excellent chances heading into round 3 because looks like Sayuri was actually donated the rifle by Jupe. She'll have enough to buy in the next one and return the favor.
Sayuri does drop, so that's 1 rifle gone. Good job to her, but
it was an FPX buy after all.
They still keep 3.
You ready to go, Lindo?
I mean, look at their money. They can just buy 2 more rifles. Why even waste time on a bonus? Just keep playing it out. And I really think that Sunset is a map, especially on attack, where Cypher players thrive. You need a strong player that can control that space in mid. Have a really suffocating first half.
Jubes is quite literally more quiet than the rest of her team. But when she has that round, that perfect lurk, you remember it.
I like the way MIBR are calling right now. Avoiding that early fight into A main. Breach Stun Paranoid is annoying, but they're seizing this timing.
SRN's going so deep. Petra wasn't even blind. SRN wins it anyway. And now this is a crunch onto A. G2 have attempted to fight out of it, but now Vanya has to fall back. They group up together on this site. MIBR, they're so patient. Taking their time, now they scale in, but SRN was ahead of everyone else and goes down alone.
It's all on Vanya here in elbow. Blinded up though, forced into the smoke and pinched from both sides.
2 left for the European side.
Some low HP on MIBR though. Mimi could do some work here.
Amy has a chance, drops down. Melissa low, that's one. Flicks around, ready for Jubes, but Jubes doesn't give away the game. No one on MIBR peeking, but Jelly's out wide. Mimi gets one, now we're even, but time is still a big factor for G2. Amy, 1v2, and Sayuri! Again! Every time G2 have a chance, every time there's some semblance of hope, she rips it away.
Sayuri has been playing next level Valorant these last 2 maps. Her bind, absurd. And then here winning it out as well. She, again, the only player with a pistol in this round, upgrades to the Vandal after getting the first kill. That's 2 more easy ones.
And that's their IGL. The player who's flexing around roles, played Brim last map, Breach this one.
Where are you?
You know you've got to worry about Jelly, about SRN. Sayuri is just there lurking behind them. Always a threat.
G2 walk up A. Melissa spots it. There's a stun in. MIBR doing well to contain.
G2 have just shown so much aggro into A main. MIBR have not fallen for it. They keep getting into these B splits, into this mid pressure. It's worked nicely for them. Forces Mimi to fall out of market while the rest of G2 rotates in super fast.
SRN, the cage, Mimi spins wide, gets one back through the smoke. But MIBR again, trading out well, taking control of this site and just getting that spike down now. Vanya, so far away in a 1v3.
Doesn't even really matter if G2 have those fast rotates, does it? MIBR just went out in the hit anyways. Vanya will try her chances with the Sheriff, but there's no guns easily recoverable.
Shadows traveling.
Vanya through the smoke. Okay.
Dear Lord!
That's a good shot, but she can't do it twice. Scary. But MIBR still win that one out. It's now 4-0.
In case you forgot, Vanya's a shooter, people.
G2 are gonna need more of that energy back. They were getting rolled to start Bind. They were covered there to 13-10.
It's the same story here. 4 rounds lost in a row, and that timeout button pushed. G2, I'd be shocked, honestly, if they kept fighting aggressively over A lobby. They could maybe set up some trap plays over there, like keep bodies on that side of the map. But MIBR have just opened up so strongly into mid multiple times that I'd really like to see G2 show some different looks, whether it's, you know, a fast aggro piece into mid with the Neon diving into tiles, that can be effective. Switching things up entirely and controlling B main behind an Omen smoke. The problem kind of is ever since the changes to the map, it's a lot harder for a defender to hold on to B main control now that you don't have that sign you can hide behind. There's really only 2 angles that you can be stuck on, and MIBR have plenty of util to flush you out.
Yeah, you either want a full commit or hope that, like last time G2 played against MIBR on this map, you're not checking your corners.
Yeah, hey, if they'll take anything they can get at this point. G2 just needs something to work out for them. And if you're looking at the minimap, yeah, Breach is over on the A side. You have a stun, potentially. But I do feel like this won't just be sprinting them down.
Will reveal their secrets.
I'd really like a trap off of some of Petra's utility.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Thrash for MIBR. That triggers this trap, but G2, they have to give space.
That's all of their stuns use. They have no space. They're stuck and getting stunned up themselves.
And MIBR, they're going to recover their Thrash, wait a couple seconds, and they have another layer to this execute.
Wow, G2 lose big, but they're trying to refight back in.
I think they wanted to deny that orb. It's already too late for that. Maybe they can get some kills.
SRN down.
That's a good start. She doubles up, but she's lost her fade, and now that Thrash becomes active again.
Yeah, it's weird trying to see how many players are on site as the
2
trip
players
is being broken. Mimi's just ready for it, though.
All right, Mimi. Rescue got detained. Will wiggle her way out of that. As Jelly, 1v4, 36 health. This should be no problem for G2.
What you got, Jelly? That's not bad. Yeah, the blind's not going to make your life easy. All right, G2 goes, and they're on the board. I'm genuinely shocked they pulled that round back. The early thrash, MIBR spending so much into A, completely stuffed what G2 was trying to do. But this call on the refight and ResQ shooting like that, that's going to get you round wins.
Absolutely. Mimi as well. All those players we need to see coming online for G2. Put in a footnote on that round. But on to the next. MIBR still have money. They still have a raise rocket, and if you fail, try again. They're going back A.
It's interesting. I think MIBR coming out of the timeout were maybe expecting something that was similar to my read, which was G2 playing lighter on A. Instead, they've actually just walked in this fight a lot. Keep your eyes on the breach positioning. That is a nasty stun line to fight off of. And SRN doesn't need it.
No.
Isn't even going to ask. But that follow-up stun is pretty.
And there's the rocket to follow it up. Petra somehow Houdini's her way out of that situation and gets a kill for it too. Dodges the flash, but she's traded out.
MIBR up one player. Emi, though, can use that smoke to creep on forward. No one's really on site. It's just SRN. Because of the wingman plant. And now the smokes go down. Mimi finds that first one. She has been crisp, but Sayuri's just been a little bit better.
Still advantage with MIBR. Sayuri has a rolling thunder.
Timing.
She's gonna rip it. Amy dodges it. She's too far ahead. Another. She needs a kill here, and SRN again and again delivers rounds for MIBR.
Yeah, that duo of SRN and Jelly, you're going to be hard-pressed to beat them in a late-round situation. G2, they thought they'd had something back. There's even moments in that round where Petra finds that first kill, but MIBR just see through the muck, honestly.
One enemy
To come out on top in that one.
Weird buy for G2. I'm surprised ResQ has this rifle instead of handing it to someone else, and well, I guess she's bought down.
She's
so
bought it, yeah.
He's just gonna use it this round, has a neon ult for next.
I like that.
My ult is ready.
Even if she falls, someone else can pick that one up. I think it's the right call on an eco round like this. And interestingly, G2 actually trying to play up here in B main. MIBR have really not gone B main at all. It's been a ton of mid play, lately going into A, but G2 have read this almost perfectly.
Crossfire.
10 seconds and Mimi has a stun, ready to kill all these players, but they're beating that timing, and that's just about perfect. Well done on the entrance.
The trust from MIBR, no util use. Just
Stun
Jelly
up
and
it too,
SRN
by the way.
together. Yeah, there it is.
It's just a perfect timing to seize that one.
Mimi, okay, maybe that stun can get her some value now, but look at the utility coming in from MIBR. And the shots too. Sayuri always delivers.
Petra's using the Nightfall? Are you kidding? A 1v2 with the Sheriff. She thinks she has a chance. There's a Vandal at her feet. It's hers now. Util comes out, biding her time. Waiting for the moment to strike, but it's a perfect crossfire and it's unnecessary. MIBR just can't lose these rounds.
The synergy between these players is unreal. When we talk about G2, we talk about it in the span of years. Building a dynasty in EMEA, winning every event, doing everything. MIBR are one of the newest teams at this event. They formed at the beginning of this year. They dethroned Team Liquid Brazil, who beat G2 in GCC last year, and now they're showing up and decimating one of the tournament favorites.
Fashion like this, form like this was unexpected. What can G2 show us to make us believe again? Right now, they've got double trips in mid, maybe even looking for a refight. It's pretty rare to see ResQ fall out of A main this early on.
Got the spike. Oh yeah, monster on the loose.
Here comes the Thrash.
Good stun.
Here we go. Ruby, ResQ. It's only 1-for-1. She absolutely needed to get more from that.
Melissa has always been ready for ResQ from tiles on these mid plays.
Catch them. Petra and Amy.
Ulting into main, Vanya's out of her mind. She sticks it, and she wins the duel.
What the hell? She has no business, but this time, her antics are denied. And the second wave of the Thrash is inbound. Jelly clears through this site, and G2 is forced back.
Mimi is stuck behind this wall. She's gonna go all the way around the world on the flank.
But she's not gonna be here for a while.
Petra's alone. Petra has to find something from backside here to pull pressure onto her while Mimi goes for that flank.
I mean, she's just hopping around, getting spammed down to 30 health. They know exactly where she is. MIBR won't even greet the plant. They want Petra dead. They're hunting for her, but she's on the run. Tucks back towards Market.
She's waiting for it. She gets the kill as the blind comes down. It's into a 2-on-2 now. Petra is ready and waiting and gets the frag. G2 back up in numbers. Desperately in need of this round. And with the flash coming in, Melissa somehow equalizes. Petra's so low, and Melissa gets the job done.
That was G2's round.
They did everything they needed to win that, and it slips away.
It was the perfect round. The crowning duo. Petra and Mimi back together to save the team. And it doesn't happen. Instead, Melissa wins a Red Bull clutch. And MIBR's train keeps on rolling.
How is that gonna happen? Just how? G2 goes and now trailing 6 rounds. They used a timeout 4 rounds ago, Mimi. They won the next round, we'll give them that, but now they are out.
We talk a lot about G2's veterans, but right now I'm looking at the 3 new players who got brought into the roster this year and are now under the pressure of an organization who has a history of success in this scene. They've looked down and out throughout this final. And you can't let this be the way your year ends.
No, not when this team was built to win it all. To reclaim that former glory of G2's.
There was 2 teams coming into this event that were win or bust. Shopify and G2, that was the expectation. G2 are on the eve of losing another lower final to another Brazilian team.
Would be a heartbreaker. Right now, Brazil up 7-1. G2 gonna get active into mid early. They've got no money, Mimi. But maybe some early aggression is what they need? I could have used some of this a long time ago, but I like the spot Rescue's found herself in.
Yeah. Vanya. Okay.
Talk about those new players. Vanya was the superstar.
But Ezra's taking the site. And is going deep as well. Wants to disrupt any retake attempt from G2. Look at this confidence. Not a care in the world. The boom bot gets the kill. I mean, maybe a little overdone. But she still has the kill. And
I mean, what is that? How are you going to play the game? It's just not possible. You're either getting overwhelmed by jellies you to...
What? Petra! Come on! Give something for G2 goes in. This is her chance. She spins around, Shorty out! And again! In the 1v1, Petra fails.
How many times has Petra been one away? She keeps finding these ridiculous moments, but can't seal the deal.
Literally back-to-back rounds.
Even on bind, there were chances. And it is just disheartening.
You can feel the momentum.
Look at A-Main with an early stun. Rescue on the slide out in front. MIBR going to be ready on the recluse. Oh, look at that stun line. Rescue stunned up. The goop is in Vanya's eyes. G2 can't fight this out, but Vanya somehow clears through it.
And she's dead. Traded by Jelly. Rolling Thunder committed into the site. Mimi's shoot away.
Even on the other side, Petra tried to go for a flank, but Neural Theft spotted that out. She's got to give it up.
Come on, G2.
Spike planted.
They really have to go for this round. Petra has an ult. They've lost too many close ones. This has to be the round, but look at MIBR. The util again is just so damn good. And Sayari rises to another occasion.
She's always stepping up for this team. MIBR, I mean, an excellent reclear. The utility just about perfect. Yeah, Vanya finds the one. But MIBR's actual set pieces have been so overwhelming.
G2 cobbles together a buy. Half armor on everyone.
Mid-fight, Tiles dive, Neon goes in, rescue. What can she find? The counterblind is perfect! And G2's play is shut down in its tracks!
I don't think there is anyone like SRN on the Raze. When she is getting overwhelmed by another player, always throws that forward satchel, knocks their aim off.
Wait for Mimi. Mimi, G2 just need a round. They don't need it to be pretty, they just need it. Simply put, and it's not gonna happen.
They just fall one by one. Amy's gone too. MIBR are steamrolling G2 goes in. A wall in their face, the last two players blinded up. Every piece of utility working against them.
I mean, look how active they're getting. SRN is in their spawn, is wrapping up behind to finish off the round. MIBR are crushing G2.
Now 10-1.
They're just making it look easy, Mimi.
Not a single member of G2 positive.
And it's just a heartbreaking way to go. 1 round out of 11. MIBR, they can taste it already.
This year was supposed to be redemption for G2 goes in. But SRN wants to steal that opportunity away from them.
Ultimate in from Vanya. SRN is still going for it. What? She won that fight?
No one thought she would.
I sure didn't.
Okay, Vanya up top. 1 for 1. Nothing more. Every chance isn't real.
SRN's just still going back into spawn for more.
They can't even follow up off this Rolling Thunder. SRN is blinded, stunned. She still gets 2! How in God's name has SRN done that? 1 kill away from securing the A. She won't get it. But MIBR are up 11-1. They're 2 rounds away from the championship.
Enemy remaining.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And 1 at the half for MIBR. A pistol round, a conversion, anything away from winning this championship.
I mean, look, it was Similar straights, not quite as dire in map 2, and G2 gave one heck of a run to try and come back in that. It starts with a pistol, but it is a long road ahead.
G2. 3 players grouped outside A.
Yeah, getting onto that same breach stun line. Make sure no one can hold easily from elbow. It's really kind of just the SRN show over on A. A lot of times you'd say she'd probably fall out of that line if she hears something, but something tells me SRN's gonna be fighting for this, Mimi.
SRN has been a nightmare for G2.
Okay, G2 don't actually speed up off of that. They expect more players on that side of the map, so Amy is activated into mid, but here comes the crunch. MIBR with the blind, shut down the lurk, and force G2 into an A finish.
It's gonna be a 4v3 retake. G2, how do they approach this? You want to get active, you want to try and play forward here, but they don't really have any opportunities.
Sayuri has full utility.
Gecko, Wingman will already reveal onto one. Stun. Counter util's good. That'll slow down the retake for a second, and Petra starts things right. They've granted some space, and now Petra's wrapping around. Can she make it in time, though? Because her teammates are dying on the site, and now she's the only one left. 1v2. Petra's been so close so many times, and it's the same here. MIBR, 1 round away.
What a performance from this team. Brazil has just captivated the game changer scene. Whether it was the lower bracket run from Team Liquid last year, or the antics of SRN in this MIBR roster.
A completely different team than the one who made it to the finals last year. From a region with only 1 representative at this tournament, MIBR has gone all the way.
But G2 won't go down without a fight. The crowd's still behind them. A force on this round, and Rescue moving on in. Has the judge in hand. Players blinded up in backside, but SNR finds the first one. Rescue, no more bullets left in the tank, and SRN is just making minced meat out of G2. Blinded up, but it doesn't matter. MIBR are going to the finals.
For the 2nd year in a row, G2 goes in crumble at the hands of a team made in Brazil. It's a completely different roster. But they've done it regardless. A 3-0, a 13-1, and a match against Shopify Rebellion.
It's gonna be so good. You have to feel for G2 goes in on stage right now, faltering, just 1 step away from being able to run it back, to have that rematch in the finals. They had an excellent year, but fall just short at the finish.
Heartbreak, 2 years in a row now for G2 goes in.
But the crowd has been with them the whole time.
And you know they'll be back. A last bow in what was the House of Gozen.
But it wasn't their day. It was MIBR's day, Mimi. And what a performance out of them. The 3-0, as you said, SRN shooting out of their mind. And Sayuri, oh my word, the in-game leader for MIBR, having one of the beastliest performances I have ever seen.
It was unreal from her. She formed this team less than a year ago, putting together players who had never been to an international event before. And now they're a best-of-5 away from lifting that trophy that they so desire.
Team Liquid failed to pull off the reverse sweep. Failed to win it last year. Made in Brazil. Have a chance this time around. You have a moment to check out some of the map highlights. It is all MIBR.
When Sayuri was interviewed heading into this event, She said, we're not going just for MIBR. We're going for all of Brazil.
Yeah.
Game Changers means a lot to the Brazilian scene. You have at least 2 rosters who can compete for a championship on an international stage.
Yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't like MIBR just dominated all year. You've got serious contenders, Team Liquid, Loud, the works. But as the sole representative on the international stage for Brazil, MIBR have made good on that promise to their region and have stunned us all here in the arena today.
SRN, an incredible series from them. Every one of these players for MIBR had their moment in this match, and I think there's no better way to do it, right? You're going to another best of 5 tomorrow. You get this one out the way quickly. It was an incredible match, but let's check in with Jubes in our Verizon post-match interview.
I'm standing here right now with Jubes of MIBR. Congratulations!
Thank you,
My goodness, this is the roster's first global tournament, and you just brought down one of the biggest teams in the world. What's going through your head right now? You were in grand finals.
Então, primeiramente, parabéns pela vitória. Você agora está a um passo de ir para as grandes finais e você acabou Você acabou de derrotar um dos maiores times do mundo no primeiro campeonato mundial do time de vocês. Como é que você está se sentindo? O que você quer falar pra gente?
I'm nervous. Oh my God, I'm speaking. Muito obrigada. Eu estou muito feliz. Eu acho que o que a gente está fazendo nesse campeonato é com certeza uma história de superação. É um reprise do que a gente fez o ano todo e eu sinto muito orgulho do meu time, cada uma delas e da coach Steph também. E eu estou muito nervosa, eu não sei muito o que falar.
Overall, I'm very nervous. I don't know exactly how to say, but first of all, thank you. Yes, I'm very proud of my whole team. We came all over here, so we are making history. I'm proud of all of them, each one of them. And that's it. I'm very happy.
I can feel a lot of excitement coming from Jubes as well. I love your energy. And, you know, this was a very, very dominant win. This was amazing. From Abyss to Bind and then to Sunset. Can you tell us, like, how did this happen? Was it preparation? Was it luck? Was it just the thrill of running the lower bracket? Tell us.
Então, desde Abyss para todos os outros mapas foi assim bem dominante da parte de vocês. O que foi que aconteceu? Foi o boost que vocês pegaram da Lauer? Foi sorte? Foi toda a preparação do ano? O que você tem a falar?
Eu acho que o nosso time ele estava um pouco nervoso, né, no primeiro jogo, só que depois que a gente perdeu, a gente teve um choque de realidade. Então a gente realmente confiou no processo que a gente fez o ano todo e a gente batalhou muito para estar aqui, então a gente se relembrou disso e hoje eu acho que a gente não está 100% ainda, mas a gente conseguiu mostrar bastante do nosso jogo.
If I had to say, like, my team started a little bit like nervous. Yeah, like here we are. I won't say that we are still at 100%, but we are like getting there. We just like fought so hard to be here and like to achieve what we are achieving. So this is what we got.
It definitely shows, and I keep hearing it's not yet MIBR at 100%, right? But Jubes, Jelly mentioned that you are actually like the vibes merchant of the team, and we saw it earlier on the stage. You were saying to the crowd, "Oh, cheer for us, cheer for us." So can you tell us where you get this energy and what do you bring to the team, especially in an important match like that?
Então, Jelly mencionou que você é a energia do time, você traz a energia, você junta todo mundo. E a gente acabou de ver você no feed, que estava pedindo para torcer para você. Se você concorda com isso, o que você tem a dizer?
Eu acho que sim, eu acho que já me falaram isso, né, que eu sou o coração do time, então eu tento trazer amor em tudo que eu faço e eu tenho certeza que eu consigo trazer amor para elas também e eu fico muito feliz de estar fazendo bem o meu trabalho, né. Jelly, te amo.
Oh. Somehow I kind of agree, like I heard before that I'm kind of like the team's heart and I'm very happy to be actually doing my job properly and like showing that, so Jelly, I love you.
Oh, I can kind of feel that as well, that you are the team's heart. Now, of course, up next is going to be Shopify Rebellion. You're going to be up against Fluorescent. You're going to be up against Mel. You're going to be up against Alexis. How are you guys going to prep? How are you guys feeling?
Então, para o próximo jogo contra Shopify Rebellion, você vai estar enfrentando grandes oponentes também. Como você vai se preparar? O que você está esperando do jogo?
A gente vai manter a preparação, né, que a gente fez nos últimos dias, porque desde quarta a gente está jogando sem parar. Então, eu acho que esse ritmo de jogo é muito bom pra gente consegue lidar bem com esse tipo de situação. Então, a gente só vai manter mesmo o que a gente está fazendo, a gente se sente bem preparada e confiante.
Overall, we've been playing like back to forth with not like much time to like stop, but we are pretty comfortable and actually have good feelings with like this streak of energy. It helped us, so I'm pretty sure we're just gonna keep the prep that we've been doing, and it's gonna be a very good game for us there.
Well, excited to see that streak of energy continue. Congratulations, Jubes. Congratulations to MIBR.
Is she able to do like a message?
Of course, please. The floor is yours. Let's hear it for Jubes.
O palco é seu, vamos lá.
Tá. Ai, meu Deus. Mãe, pai, irmão, irmã, eu amo muito vocês, eu sei que vocês estão aí no Brasil me assistindo. E para eu chegar aqui, eu tive que ter o apoio de todos vocês. Eu sei que vocês me apoiam muito e vocês são minha base. Eu tô aqui por vocês, sempre vai ser por vocês. Enquanto eu estiver aqui, vai ser por vocês. E eu amo vocês mais que tudo. E obrigada por tudo. Tamo junto.
Mom, dad, brother, sister, I love you. Thank you for the support. If I am here right now, it was because all the support that you've been giving me, all the love, and I will be here. I will be there tomorrow. If I still gonna be performing well, it's because of you. You guys are my base, so thank you, and I love you so much.
Beautiful message. Let's hear it one more time for Jubes. MIBR, your grand finalist up against Shopify Rebellion. We cannot wait to see it.
MIBR winning the lower finals, moving on to the grand finals, going against former champions, Shopify Rebellion. This is huge. It seems like MIBR just gets better and better throughout this tournament, Wyatt.
Yeah, and we questioned at the beginning of the day, will history repeat itself from last year? Will Brazil knock out G2 Gozen and then face SR in the final? Yep, history has repeated itself. This team, they just look insane. The form that SRN and Jelly have been in on this lower bracket run, I mean, you guys, you were able to take a map off them. I'm curious to ask you guys, like, what Shopify need to do to, you know, actually try and win this game, to win those maps.
I think Shopify is good at adapting how your team play. So I think it's gonna be a great match for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's going to be incredible. And we were talking a bit about SRN. We have to talk about SRN. It's
so insane.
Absolute insane performance. Definitely one of the best raised performances we've been seeing in this tournament. In this tournament here, do you guys have any moments with SRN that are just absolutely unforgettable, whether in your match or this match here today?
I think for me, in our match in Sunset, I don't really remember which one it was, but whenever they get the B side, like, and then we're trying to prep for retake, suddenly SRN is like pushing our base, and then we have to like fight against SRN first, even before taking the side, and it felt very hard for us, because like suddenly SRN is just gonna kill everyone in the team. She's gonna get an ace, and then she's gonna like, I don't know, it's just crazy. I think that was the most memorable moment for me in yesterday's game.
Yeah, I'm sure coming head-to-head against SRN is something else. There was, for me, also on Bind, but just now on this map against G2 when they both pulled out the showstoppers and SRN won that one out. And I think that's just, that's it, right? It's almost like when everything is equal in terms of utility, in terms of HP and everything, and SRN is just on it. So I think, of course, the thing we're really looking forward to is SRN versus Fluorescent.
Yeah, that's going to be insane, because up until this point, Floor's stats this year overall, on average, have been better than all of her stats last year's run. So just the form from the two of them is just outrageous at the moment.
So I want to ask you guys, Alexi and Aneri, obviously you faced them yesterday. I know it's a bit fresh, and especially those last two maps were the two maps that you guys played as well. So it's so fresh. Do you think MIBR has improved even more since yesterday? Or do you think or like it's an and/or question, or G2 goes in, do you think they weren't at their 100%?
I think MIBR improved a lot. Like, we were watching all 3 maps today. Their form is different. The way they play with more confidence today, I would feel. And they play more as a team today. And like in general, I feel like everyone in the team, they cannot miss a shot. Everyone is so clutch. Everyone is like on the top of their game today. And they just played amazing today. I feel like they improved a lot from yesterday.
Do you agree with that, Alexi?
Yeah, because they sent us home also, the 2 Pacific teams. So
Yes.
the momentum is very important for them. That made them beat the G2 today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So kinda, so sad.
Yeah, in fact, man, G2 goes in.
Yeah.
We call this the House of Goes In. We're here in Berlin, Germany. A lot of us talents, in fact, even predicted a Goes In win today, a majority of us. And they had so many fans. They were absolutely incredible throughout this whole year, Wyatt.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they tactically looked so good in this tournament overall. It's insane to think that we still, after all these years, have not gotten like a Shopify versus G2 final, or at least just like that core Melon Alexis versus Petra and Mimi. It is so crazy. They're always remaining at the very top, though. They had some incredible games. I mean, that Shopify match in the upper final is an instant classic. That's one for the GC history books. That will be talked about forever. That's so rewatchable. That game was incredible.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of growth from the team, a lot from not just the team, but the individuals. They are so iconic in the game changer scene. I think a lot of players actually often look up to them, and the leadership style that Mimi has, the sort of experience that Petra has. How do you guys view G2 Goes In?
Because I came from, like, my first FPS game is CSGO, and Mimi played CSGO. So when I was like 12 years old, Mimi was already going pro and stuff. And then I would like watch her YouTube montage clips as a kid, and it made me like feel so happy that I see like, oh my gosh, she's a girl playing, and like I can do that. I want to do that also. I want to go pro and stuff. And I think Mimi is just my role model growing up. So yeah.
Shout out to Mimi. I think she's a role model for a lot. Yeah.
I always look up to her also.
Oh wow.
Ever since the first championship, me and Odell was watching the first champs because she didn't qualify and I haven't qualified.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah. Then we were just like, oh, look, Mimi's so good, and her mindset is so different. You know, like it's for like the level of being a leader.
I agree.
Yeah, what qualities exactly in the leadership? I think one thing a lot of the players here have remarked on is, I guess, the chemistry and the friendship and the bonds that are kind of formed. Is that something you could tell from just watching at home?
I think because we were watching the features today, like the video they made today, and then Mimi said that even though they lost yesterday, Mimi wants to take the responsibility, and like she doesn't want to put burden on her superstars. That's what she said, and I feel like that's such a rare quality in a player, like to take everyone's burden and like just make sure everyone's okay. And I feel like that's what makes her such a good leader.
Yeah,
it's a very good quality.
I agree.
Now I have to ask about MIBR. Now that they've won, do you feel relieved that they won? Like, okay, this is the team that we lost to. Are you more sad? Like, oh, they took down 2 Pacific teams. Like, how do you feel about it? Actually, do you have any personal thoughts that you're willing to share? If you don't want, you don't have to.
Personally, I'm still like feeling sad since the yesterday's game. But it's like a deja vu, like last year when G2 lost to Team Liquid. So yeah, it's just the same feeling again. And I'm just looking forward for tomorrow's game.
How about you?
To be honest, it's the same like Alexi. I just kind of have like deja vu, like, oh, we got sent home by the Brazil teams again. So I feel sad, but at the same time, I don't feel sad because I know we tried our best, and MIBR is such an insane team. So like, huge props to them.
Yeah, they have been absolutely insane. In fact, let's look at the brackets. Let's look at the journey that we went on over the last week and a half. And like you guys said, it's like deja vu. It's kind of crazy that the script has gone this way, Wyatt.
I know. I mean, the real standout thing for me when we're heading into tomorrow is when we go back into the upper bracket and remember that G2 beat MIBR just earlier this week, and they have leveled up so much that they were able to 3-0 them and end the series beating G2 on the map that G2 destroyed them on last time, which was Sunset. Like, a complete reversal there is so insane, and it does just set us up for the craziest final
I think that
imaginable.
it's so important. It means they've fixed their mistakes. And the two of you were remarking on this, like you felt G2 Gozen maybe shouldn't have changed their comps, but in fact, fix their, fix the holes, the gaps, the mistakes instead. And it looks like that's what MIBR ended up doing. They've leveled up. Do you guys believe in like the rematch, Chris? Because G2 rematched with MIBR today, and normally the winner ends up losing the second time around, at least statistically. Do you think that's a real thing?
I somehow believe.
I believe it actually,
Yeah.
because when, especially if you're the one losing at the first match, you learn a lot, and you will have like the hunger to win, and you will have the feeling like, oh, I really want to fix these mistakes. So I think MIBR going to the lower bracket, it made them improve in such a fast rate, and it makes them look very, very scary. So yeah.
Well, I do have to ask, now that we are going to be seeing Shopify Rebellion, we're going to see them go against MIBR. We haven't seen them face off this tournament yet. Now with a leveled up MIBR, I think a lot of us are predicting Shopify. What all three of you? Do you want to go down the line? Any initial thoughts?
For today's
I'm
match,
scared to predict. I don't know.
I'm scared to
you guys
predict
start.
also. But for today's match, MIBR's style today, there's a chance, maybe.
I think it's a 3-2 game for me. Like a repeat of last year again. Maybe it'll go all 5 maps again, I feel.
And Wyatt.
And no one has picked a winner.
I know.
No one is
You're
actually
all-
going for
No
winner.
one's committing. This
I
is
know,
your
it's
last
so
day on the
tough,
desk.
'cause I feel like SR have a bit of a deeper playbook, a lot of little utility combos and things that they'll bring out, which isn't something that MIBR do, but the form that they're in, the fundamentals they have, how aggressive and fearless they are, I might go with Brazil taking it this year 3-2. I think it's going to be a 5-mapper as well.
I agree.
I'm going to go with MIBR, but I don't feel confident in it because both teams are so good.
I know. So I think tomorrow's going to be absolutely crazy. And before we close it out, I think this Game Changers Championship experience has been really special. It's not your first time here, but I feel like a lot has grown and changed. You guys have a favorite moment, something like why you love Game Changers?
I think like I think the most favorite moment and the most like memorable moment is like when, even though we lost yesterday, I feel like I can see my teammates, they have a lot of growth in them. Like we were all set, but we don't like feel sad the whole day. We were just like, guys, we tried our best, don't be too sad about it, and we learned a lot, and we matured a lot also. So yeah.
I think for me, the most memorable is meeting my friends as well internationally.
Yeah.
Because for example, I'm friends with FlyQuest, I'm friends with Floor, so we had the chance to meet again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I mean, this is definitely the special part about Game Changers Championships. So this, do you have any quick thoughts, actually?
Any quick thoughts?
As a non-player?
As a non-player, but it's my last
I realized I didn't
day
ask you.
doing this.
I know,
No,
but
I
it's your
mean,
last
it's
day.
just-
I feel like you should.
Sure, I mean, yeah, it's just been amazing to be here for the first GCC that I've been able to be a part of in person. The games have been awesome. The vibes are also incredible here. Everyone has been super kind. It's been such a sick tournament, and I'm just excited to see how it's going to actually end. This grand final should be insane.
I think it's going to be so insane. I think we all know that. So thank you so much, Wyatt, Alexi, and Aneri, also from Zipto. Thanks for joining me here at the desk. I'm Victoria. Thank you, everyone, for watching at home. I hope you guys enjoyed that lower finals. And tomorrow it's going to be a crazy grand finals against Shopify Rebellion and MIBR. So we'll see you tomorrow for that grand final. Bye.
Bye.
It's lower finals time, baby. The teams are laser focused more than ever in this make or break moment. We've got G2 Gozen and MIBR, the sole remaining representatives of their nations, colliding in a battle for that trophy.
It's Amy with one, Amy with another, and now it is just Sayuri.
The agile in the clutch. Amy's not looking. A 1v1. Amy beats right into her. Sayuri.
He has struggled so far in the first half. We know she is one of the best players in the world. See what she can do into backside and gets the first one. Has now been taken down low.
Smokes off the spike, but she's chipped down to 1 HP. And MIBR are just running her down. Jubes actually dies for it. SRN is blind now. This should not be possible. Vanya trying to stick to halfway. SRN baiting it out. She has the kill. It's their time. It's down to the last second. Vanya's done it. An absolutely unbelievable clutch.
Vanya is unreal.
They should not let Melissa get away with anything. But Petra is so far ahead of the rest of the team. There's a paranoia. Melissa tucks in Jelly as well. That angle is good damage. Onto rescue. The Blade Storm whiffs. She's off the map. And MIBR strike first. They claim G2 Gozin's home map. Getting wrapped by Jubes, who's already made noise. But it's a spam again. They never miss through a smoke.
Ridiculous.
Vanya escaped 2 ultimates with that teleport. But Rescue, oh my, almost lost her life. And now she
Rescue!
How has she gotten 4? But Mimi has the stun. Vanya should swing out, and this round should be
Nicely done.
It is.
How about Rescue, huh? That's exactly what they needed.
What's happening?
MIBR with only 1 player left to deal with Rescue. Okay, that's 2. 3 for Rescue! Needs to save this game alone. We're down to 30 health. A crossfire for MIBR, and they put an end to it. 13-10. MIBR take their home map, and they're up 2-0 in this best of 5.
SRN is still going for it. What? She won that fight?
No one thought she would. They can't even follow up off this Rolling Thunder. SRN is blinded, stunned. She still gets 2! 1 kill away from securing the A. She won't get it. But MIBR are up 11-1.
Rescue moving on in. Has the judge in hand. Players blinded up in backside, but SNR finds the first one. Rescue, no more bullets left in the tank, and SRN is just making mincemeat out of G2. Blinded up, but it doesn't matter. MIBR are going to the finals.
For the 2nd year in a row, G2 Gozin crumble at the hands of a team made in Brazil.
so forget about it. Time to try now, find your fight now, take the light out. Don't you wait for this to pass you by now. Ain't it nice how we're taking flight now? Don't you wait for.